Hi. What up? What are we doing? Yesterday's debate is already up. Yeah, we're quick. We're getting on it. It's kind of important to do that, I think, when the person you're talking to has a channel as well, because you don't want them to soak up the initial views, I guess. Fuck knows. Man. I thought it was alright. I thought it was a decent talk. Maybe it was a bit complacent in thinking like, I know there is a disadvantage to just kind of letting people yap and soapbox and not really answer questions, but I think as long as you just remind them that they're not answering, and it's like the audience should notice, unless they're mental. Ooh, not this man again. What, you? Listen, what is this Candace Owens Tim Pool rift that is still? There's a whole internal conservatard civil war happening right now, and I feel like we're not watching enough of it. Let's see. You tapped out in a couple of hours. Okay, that's fine. Two-Tone can let us know where he thinks Chris got one on you. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Wait, what? Oh, it's the waiting screen. Okay.
Heck of a show.
Bah!
Friday was a heck of a show. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Did I get in trouble?
Oh boy.
From the things that Milo was saying about Candace and his I'm sorry, not just Candace, but Charlie Kirk as well, and
Ooh.
Benny Johnson.
Benny Johnson.
Jeez. Wow.
It's all my Russian boys. It's all the rubles in one room.
And so we left the show that night thinking everything was, I don't know if normal is the right word, because it's hard to describe anything in the past year or a couple of years or even decade as normal, I guess. But, you know, here we are. And the simple version of the story, which we'll get into in a little bit more detail, obviously, later on, but a vehicle was slowly approaching the property when it got, I got to keep some of the details vague just for security reasons, but...
oh, yeah, he's claiming that people shot at his compound or some shit, like his skater mansion, his beanie bunker. He got shit. Did he show any evidence of this? Or I can't. I'm sorry. It's not my fault that you took money from the Russians to speak shit. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it's not my fault that it's just impossible to believe anything this guy says. Obviously, it's a shame if he got fired on, but what am I supposed to do with this information? Word of mouth. Okay. No, sorry.
One shot was fired. It then picks up speed. And then once it lines up at the studio, 2 more shots are fired. We don't know what it is, right? It's based on the threats that we'd already received, threats to shoot up the studio and to kill us. We're just operating under this under the presumption it's targeted. But all we really know is, be it an attempted intimidation or actually just a weak, I guess, what do we call it? Antifa, terrible aim, attempt to kill us. We don't know who did it. Or why. But the presumption is, again, we had received threats months ago, some of them more credible, threats to come and shoot up the studio. One thing that I've never talked about, but as of today I have, is we routinely get people pulling up to the property in the middle of the night and just sitting there, just literally idling their cars in front of our property. We have a security perimeter. We have a 6-foot-tall gate, and we've got armed guards, and they'll flicker lights at them, and the people will speed off. Our old property still gets harassed. People still show up. I've told the story. A year ago, a man in a dress showed up and physically attacked one of the residents. And then even recently,
what is this? It's just spinning. What is it? It's a fucking flying saucer. Why is it spinning in the background? It's just rotating. What the fuck?
Showed up taking pictures and filming on the property, even though we aren't there. It's a private residence.
What's it doing?
So things are getting a bit serious. And we got the crew here. We talked about it. We've got footage of what happened. And we also have this other story that,
I see the footage.
Interestingly, and I don't know if interesting is the right word, but Benny Johnson posted that a man had been arrested for stalking him, Laura Loomer, Matt Walsh, Katzard, threatening to kill Matt Walsh and his family.
Oh, yeah. Did you see the letter that the person wrote to Benny? There's no fucking way that letter would have come under any kind of like criminal incitement or threats. It's just, that was such a politically fucking motivated hypersensitive. Oh God, that was so dumb.
And oh boy, as we enter a political year, things are just getting crazy. They're getting absolutely crazy. Charlie Kirk is dead. And this stuff is just getting worse. And I believe what the most terrifying thing about the political environment that we are in is that Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk's organization, lost its founder, its leader, its greatest advocate, and somehow a section of our political population has turned Turning Point into the perpetrators of the crime they were victims of. It's psychotic. And here we are. That's how crazy things are getting. So, of course, we're going to talk about that and a lot more. I know this is a rather serious opening, and there are very serious implications as to how we continue doing this show. We talked about this back in October. We talked about this after Charlie was murdered, and we started receiving serious threats. And people started posting all across social media saying, kill Tim Pool and things of that nature. And, we had talked about how if we decide to make a move, isolate, shut down, whatever it is, it will feel premature. I feel like now, after 3 shots are fired at our studio, it doesn't feel premature anymore, but I don't know exactly how or what to do. And there's a lot to talk about. So we'll go over this. There's a lot of, I guess, just crazy shenanigans that are happening as, with the following last Friday's episode. So we'll talk about that. And in true Nightmare Dystopia fashion, we got a sponsor for you, Tax Network USA. Do you owe back taxes or haven't filed
fuck. Not gold.
Refreshing.
Not freedom coffee,
today, brother.
I want to hear about Candace.
You sure those planets and stuff? It could
Hey,
easily
there
be
he is.
imprinting
I
on
met this guy. This guy's mental.
us and creating, fractals of ways of behavior. That's right, Milo. I said fractals. Phil Labonte's in the house.
I love you, Ian. Hello, everybody. My name is Phil Labonte. I'm the lead singer of the heavy metal band All That Remains. I'm an anti-communist and a counter-revolutionary. Let's get into it.
Well, we're just going to start with the, what happened over the weekend. And I talked about it a bit this morning. I'm interested to hear what the crew thinks. But, back in October, I was in Phoenix. I went to Turning Point to do the show.
Are we getting a White House press conference about the Tim Pool drive-by? I don't doubt it. I don't doubt we're going to see fucking Queen Caroline summon the entire international press. Why are you not covering this? You probably heard, Pete Hegseth, you probably heard in the gay media, in the gay papers, that I'm committing war crimes. Why didn't you cover this war crime against Tim Pool?
With the Turning Point crew and the Charlie Kirk Show crew, we had received a threat that I don't know if we described at the time in detail, because we often refrain from exposing some of the finer details because it will make your security worse. It will increase the threat and the risk. And the threat was to come and shoot up the place. We were in contact with the FBI. Look, like Cash and Dan have been on the show. Okay, I know these guys, right? And we got in touch directly with some great people at the FBI who said that they were working on this, and they were in touch with our crew. And they believed that it was credible because it fit a pattern of other shootings based on the information that was conveyed in it. And so I believe they're currently tracking that down. I believe I don't know what the deal is going on with it, but I think it's an open case maybe. And it's not the only one we've received. We've received a lot of veiled threats and general death threats. And then Saturday between midnight and 1 a.m., a vehicle slowly approaching the property opens fire. Then it drives past our driveway to where our studio is. 2 more shots are fired. And, the first thing everybody did was just, try to rationalize. So the first thing that happens is our security guards report shots fired. And, it's a crazy thing to hear. And we were out. We had left the show. We were going to hang out, right? We go do our stuff. We get drinks or play poker or something like that. And so I head back, and I'm like, what's going on? What happened? And then like some car was lurking around and it fired a shot or something like that. So, we have increased security. We don't exactly know what's happening at this time, but we've got armed guards, right? So in the morning, we reviewed security footage, and it's 3 clear gunshots.
Fuck off. I want to hear Candace.
In 2020,
You guys fucking a lot. This looks like if you when I used to be involved when I used to play in bands, and you would when we were getting like albums or EPs made. If you went on these websites that printed CD covers or record covers for you, they would recommend on like AI ones basically back like 10 years ago. They would just give you like this blank fucking picture with some fucking random font on top of it, and it always looked like this. It always just looked like a random picture of fucking space with some circles on it, and then just like the name. I was like, damn, I feel so bad for like any band that just like decides to do that because they don't have artwork. Fuck me. Why? But it looks exactly like that. This guy would have had a budget, right? If he's on the Timcast, he's always on Timcast, isn't he?
Plenty of people.
Or does he look like someone else? No, he is. He is.
Congress egging on the rioters, saying things like, "We need to be out in the streets. We need more of it." You had Kamala Harris was shilling a website that was paying for the legal defense of these people.
It was for bail, you fucking retard. The judge has to approve of bail. As in, bail money is useless unless the judge says, yes, you are safe enough to go on bail. Fuck me. A retweet.
Nationalist, all the...
By the way, we were talking about civil war. Civil war. I just wanted to scream about civil war to millions of people for 5 years. And now someone's shooting at my house. Unbelievable. How could this happen?
This big coalition. He is murdered. By all means, ask questions about by who, whatever you want to think. And today, a large portion of people believe Turning Point, the victim, is actually the perpetrator. That's how terrifying the political climate is. The left doesn't have this degree of self-sabotage. And so if you think about...
Do we not? Jesus.
Not only did the left get everything they could have dreamed of from the murder of Charlie Kirk. And again, I don't know what Robinson's political affiliation is. He's got a transferee boyfriend. We'll see what the evidence shows.
So you believe the FBI story?
No.
I'm so... What is that?
Well, I want to believe that, holy God Emperor Trump, peace be upon him, and the claims that this person was a radicalized left-wing activist, but also 3 other agencies. Oh, no.
I mean, what does that mean?
Oh, what the FBI says, Tara Robinson did all that. So,
do you believe that? I think that the evidence we have seen thus far, Occam's razor, suggests Robinson is the likely culprit. We will see what happens in the trial when evidence is presented, but there's literally no other story. Just a bunch of fucking retards on the internet saying stupid shit. And what that does is the organization that helped get Donald Trump elected, which needs to persist. You don't got to be a fan of it, but it certainly will help get individual congressional candidates elected and stop Democrats from launching new committees and putting more people in prison like Steve Bannon and Peter Navarro. Instead, it's being gutted by fucking psychopaths telling people to pull their donations.
Who's he talking about?
So when this organization burns to the ground or whatever the fuck happens to it, maybe they're fine. The organization that's rallying young people, causing a shift in the political leanings of a generation for the first time in history, is now in dire straits. Their leader and founder murdered, and prominent pieces of human trash are trying to destroy it.
Oh.
It's fucking evil. Fuck. So you know what? When someone pulls in front of my property and fires on it several times, I'm sitting here looking at these vile pieces of shit and thinking to myself, for what purpose will I stick my neck out if this is what happens after Charlie Kirk is killed? Candace Owens is a fucking evil scumbag. She is a degenerate cunt. She is burning everything down, and she's gloating and smiling.
Usually when Americans say cunt, it sounds kind of like... It sounds a little bit out of place, forced. That was a good one. That was a good strong C word from Tim Pool there.
Fucking, if this is what happens after Charlie Kirk is killed, Candace Owens is a fucking evil scumbag. She is a degenerate cunt. She is burning everything down. And she's gloating and smiling while she does it. And
slur review. That's the only reason I'm watching this is for the slur review.
But you fucking told me she has no security. She doesn't fucking deal with the shit we have to deal with. She's a piece of shit. She's making everyone else suffer. And all of these fucking conservatives out there that send me these fucking messages have no fucking balls to call her out. More and more people have started doing it. They send me these
Yes.
fucking messages. Good for
Keep
you,
fighting.
Tim. Good for you, Tim. I wasn't the first person to do it. I'm not going to take credit for that. But don't fucking DM me like I did something for you as you cower, as you fucking cower, scared that she'll put you on her thumbnail and claim you benefited from Charlie Kirk's assassination, which he's doing to me right fucking now.
Yeah, that was the.
I'm fucking done with these
his
people.
fucking his guest is trying to fucking join in. No chance.
She has security just on the
Don't get in the way of my epic Beanie Vosh rant.
Oh, yeah, the one fat guy you mentioned with no wall and no barrier in a suburban neighborhood with neighbors. Shouldn't give two fucking shits. No one's out for her. She's lying about all of this. You told me you went to her house and she's got a 4-foot wall and one fat guy. And she doesn't give a shit about her security. Meanwhile, I get bullets fired at my fucking property and I have to go live in the middle of nowhere. And I got fucking strangers coming up to my house in Maryland, breaking in. I got people showing up and beating up the residents who trying to live there. How the fuck am I even supposed to sell this property? And you know, it's all lies. It's all hypocrisy. And it is for the purpose of making money. And she does not live the way other people live.
How much money did Tim Pool make from Russia again? Oh yeah, it was way more than anything Hunter Biden ever made at Burisma, just so you know. Quite a lot more, actually.
And she claims she liked Charlie, she loved Charlie, and she is burning everything down that he built because she is evil. She is evil. And I'll say it again, this conservative movement is fractured, it's fried, whatever it is. Okay? Republicans are on track to lose the midterms. They were actually trending in the other direction until Charlie Kirk was murdered.
Yeah.
And this is the point, isn't it? The most effective political assassination in history. And thanks to the likes of the vile cunt Candace Owens, she has turned Turning Point into the perpetrators of the crime that
He's
was.
been practicing his C word. It's so good. Man, go off. Yeah, keep fighting. Go off. And then when I see Candace Owens saying, you know, Tim, I just don't know what's gotten into you. I mean, all I'm doing here is just asking questions, and your reaction was, frankly, it was a bit extreme, Tim. I think we need to pray for you. I really hope you feel better. I'm sorry that the Mossad is making you say these things, call me these terrible words. And I'll be like, yes, go off, Queen. Make him mad.
Against them. I don't get paid by any of these people. I'm not on good terms necessarily with Turning Point USA. They didn't invite me to their stupid event. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. They invited me back after I started criticizing Candace. I'm not going to your event. I'm over all of this shit. The last thing that I need to deal with is a bunch of cowards in conservative media refusing to stand up to her. Megyn Kelly, come on. I appreciate the kind words, but come on.
Come on.
Such fucking pathetic bullshit.
Fucking pathetic bullshit.
You know, and I get people saying, Tim, you know, thank you so much for talking about it. I don't care. I'm not doing a favor for anybody. I'm not doing this to benefit anybody. Nobody's paying me. There's no fucking Russia. There's no fucking Israel. There's just...
Not anymore. I suppose that's true. Not anymore. There's not. They got caught. Although he did make enough just off of Russia that he can basically retire.
Cunt.
Not that video. That's a... Hang on. Jesus. Hey!
Me sticking my neck out and then risking dying for what? A bunch of cowards that don't want to stand up to protect themselves? People like fucking Candace Owens?
I couldn't believe that she put you in the thumbnail.
What a fucking cunt.
Her piece
He
today.
said it again.
The idea that she didn't
fucking
imply
done.
that
Let's go, MAGA Civil War. This is the real Civil War. This is the Civil War we actually wanted.
you had some benefit or that you benefit somehow. Like it,
She benefited. I think she's a Fed, and I think she killed Charlie. No
Whoa.
one benefited more than her. And now she is, when you look at what's stopping
Oh, no.
us
Reverse
from winning in
conspiracy.
2026 right now, what the biggest threat and the biggest fear we have is, it is the disarray on the right. It is the fracturing of the coalition of all the different voices that came together and stopped the neoliberal bullshit liberal economic order machine that was coming out and telling everybody to chop their dicks off and that you had to get fucking injected or get locked in your house. And here we have a coalition resisting and rejecting that. Charlie Kirk dies, and he's not perfect. He loved Israel. Some people don't like that, but he certainly did organize a movement that brought people together that helped get Trump elected.
It's so fucking funny how Israel has just caused so many of these fucking schisms in like left and right politics. It's so fucking funny, man. You notice how it's really just there as a kind of like litmus test, isn't it? Like people just use it as a loyalty test. It's not even really much of a policy debate there. It's just like, oh yeah, this person likes Israel. Whoa, okay. You go in that box. Like, fuck. Anyway, thank you, Tim. I look forward to Candace Owens responding to these charges. Let's go. I am going to watch some of this. I'm going to watch some of these highlights. Apparently they're funny. Who knows?
Nick and Kachi, you guys are looking like a beautiful couple of friends. Lovely. Peach, Sear, you guys are looking dashing and scrumptious as always.
We also live in Austin.
Yes, also
Yes.
also Austin for Thank you, I love you. Hassan is here. Is that a vibration remote in your pocket, or are you just excited to be here?
I'll put it on you later.
Whoa.
Is that a threat or like a?
See, some broke people in chat might think that's misogynistic or frat bro or whatever, but actually she made the sexual joke first, so it's completely fine.
What was that? Could you explain your inspiration for your outfit tonight? It looks familiar for some reason to me. Hammer's over there.
Why would it be familiar to you? I don't understand. I mean, I got it in China, but yeah.
Why is he looking away from her? What the fuck?
Maybe because I'm Chinese. Maybe that's why. It just looks familiar. Anyway, Austin show's here tonight as well.
Man.
If you guys see Austin roaming around, though, just report to Hassan, because Austin's the only one who knows this place command. All right, let's keep going this way. The homophobic table!
Shit.
Woo! Or was it misogynistic? I don't remember. Hi.
What is that fucking... What table is this?
Jason, Sakura, the internet's favorite couple.
Oh no.
Hi.
Is she bombing?
And their short gay son, Ron. Ron, how does it feel to have been replaced by Sakura?
It was only a matter of time.
It's okay. It's okay. You get to sit next to him. Look at them. They're back to back. Trouble in paradise.
Now I know why real celebrities can do award shows. Well, no, the problem is you guys are sitting there thinking that streamers are just fucking retards. Like they're just social degenerate dipshits who there's a good reason they do all their work from home, from the safety of their little goon cave, of their little wank hammocks. But the fact is that there's another issue here, right? The issue here is that streamers are sensitive little fucking bitches. Like they can't handle being celebrities don't give a fuck, man. You can roast the shit out of them and they'll just take it and the audience will laugh and everyone understands. These guys are like really fucking sensitive, like all of them.
CC, are you guys doing okay? There's so much tension. How's it
Yes,
going?
we're doing great.
Yeah?
There's no tension.
Are you guys in love? Are you guys in love? Do you love each other?
Started the cans
Come on.
Rabin's wife had an account in USD from the time Rabin was an ambassador to the US that she forgot to close. Rabin, if the people think him lying, I don't have their mandate.
I don't know what that means, but thank you very much for the 11 euros. Sorry, thanks. Anyway, let's do a little goal. Fuck. Buh! 5 supers, 1 hour. Let's go. Why did it change the... Okay.
Yes.
Oh! Okay, I need to get out of here. This is too much heels, as they say.
Remember that time Will Smith didn't at all? Oh, yeah, well, Will Smith. Yeah, fuck. Micro celebrities and celebrities are just a bit different, right?
Too many heels? I don't know. I think that's what the kids say.
Lorna, can you go to the next award show wearing an IDF uniform? That would entail me going to an award show, which is probably never going to happen. Like, no, thank you.
But let me know if the distance gets too much. I can try to get Dr. K over here to fix things for you, okay? They're from Timu. We've got Rakai here. Rakai, you are our youngest nominee ever. Huge. For those of you who don't know you, do you want to give a little introduction about yourself as a streamer?
Wait, what you mean?
What?
What you mean what?
An introduction of yourself as a streamer.
Nigga, I don't really know. Like, I just stream, yeah.
What's wrong with this guy, man? What the fuck?
Amazing sales pitch. Thank you. Thank you. Great achievement.
That was a good save. That was a good save, though. I really envy like African Americans because like if you ever lost for words, you just say the N word and everyone fucking loves it.
We've got another record breaker here tonight too. Kai Cenat.
Uh-oh.
This year, as everyone knows, you broke the record for the most expensive haircut and the least educational university.
Oh.
So congratulations to you.
Uh-oh.
And also, congrats on your new documentary with 50 Cent. That was you, right?
See, look, it's like the audience is sensitive on their behalf as well. I feel bad for this person now. I don't think she's read the room very well. Because if someone came to me and they were like, I'm going to go to the Streamer Awards, what if I just like go around and roast everyone? I'm like, whoa, okay, sit down, okay? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about streamers, okay? No, don't do that. Don't ask questions.
If you all gonna be on the mic, now turn this mic, now turn this shit on. Turn this shit on. If you all gonna be on the mic making jokes, at least let it be funny. If you all gonna be on the mic making jokes, at least let it be funny.
I thought it was.
Have a good night.
Here. Do you want to do a joke?
No.
Okay.
Wow.
I only said that because he got his haircut. Anyway, speaking of Streamer University, we do have alumni here tonight.
Shit.
Ray and Tota. Wait, where the fuck is Tota? Oh, he's not here? Oh man, well we got Ray. You're an alumni, right? If only Tota was here, then you guys could almost speak
For
English.
context, there's an ongoing joke in Kai's chat where they tell him he looks like Diddy. Yeah, I thought that would have been just like referring to something that they have as an in-joke or yeah.
We're gonna speak Todanese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's actually good that he's not here because he probably would have been confused and thought we were related or something.
Me and Toda?
Me and you.
Me and you? Cause we Asian?
Yeah.
Ah, shit.
Marcus. How you doing tonight?
I'm feeling great. How are you? I'm a little
Yeah.
drunk right now.
I actually, I told Marcus a joke that I was gonna do with
I'm
Ray and
stealing.
Tota, and he said he's gonna steal it.
I'm stealing it. The audience will never know what joke it is.
I know, now I can't
I'm
even
getting off
say it
before
anymore.
you.
I just love puzzles is over here. Hi, miss. You look so lovely. I know I met you earlier and I said that, but you do look amazing, and I'm glad you found your dress. And I love that your name is so straightforward. It's just, I just love puzzles.
I'm a pretty straightforward girl.
Yeah. Well, I like it. I think we'd all take some notes, because like, what the fuck is a squeaks, right? I'm sorry for my language in this puzzle. But I think you have the most straightforward streamer name since Ray Asian Boy. So I just love it. How do you feel being nominated tonight?
What's your thoughts on being nominated? Why is Miskiff not there?
Incredible feeling. It is totally unexpected. It just feels so good being here.
Why did they choose Fan Fan? I literally don't know anything about Fan Fan. I don't know who she is. The thing is, it's a hard thing to tell. I always have this thought when it comes to comedy, when it's like, when I used to host open mic nights, but it was always music. It was like musical open mics. And when some people occasionally would come on to try and do stand-up, the audience just wasn't used to it. So people would, even when people laughed, they would laugh, but like, when there are some contexts where some people laugh and it's just like like it's a quiet laugh. But obviously when you go to a comedy club, everyone laughs out loud. Like there's a whole social kind of like agreement there that people are going to laugh at the jokes, even if like it's not even that good. They just have to do the punchline. It has to sound like a punchline, and people will laugh. Like it's very unlikely you're going to go to a comedy club, or at least not that I've seen, where someone does like a half-assed joke and people just are like, like people will just like. They'll kind of push themselves to make it into a successful night in a way, but her doing this and like roasting people. I don't know, because I feel like if there was a more receptive audience, it would probably not look as cringe. But because she's in a room of like the most sensitive motherfuckers on the planet, then
and being recognized by so many streamers that I have watched for almost 6 years now, and that I admire. I support all of the young people on Twitch from every single category, our political streamers, our just chatters. Shout out to Grimlow. I had to make sure I mentioned Grimlow and Will Neff.
Hey, we know Grimlow. Our little friend. Our incredibly little friend who makes fun of other people for being short.
They are two of my favorite people in the world. I am Gmon Neff and Gmon Kwan now. But
okay, this is her last person, then she goes on. What else is there? Oh, she has more. She does more. She doesn't even stop.
Sinna, hi, Black Hoodie.
I've already had a one camera issue today. I don't need more, okay? Hi, Pippin.
Hi, Sinna.
Hello.
You look beautiful.
Thank you. I found out that I have 2 dads, apparently. That's something interesting, according to production. So, shout out them. You look gorgeous tonight, by the way. You look absolutely beautiful. I hope Chad is still having fun.
Yes.
Okay, good.
I'm going to be honest with you. I actually get really pissed off when I think about you because you make me super fucking jealous. Because you're pretty, you're smart, you're funny, you're talented, you have a dad.
Oh. Do you not have a dad?
Two dads.
You my dad's dad. He's been flirting with women all night, so you're welcome to have him.
Oh, thank you, Father.
All right, this was Cutie's fucking opening, wasn't it? She was doing little fucking roasts as well.
Thank you, everybody. Welcome to the 5th Annual Streamer Awards. Or,
welcome.
as Aiden Ross would call it, his idea.
Hey, got him. The crowd is shit, man. Like, there is such a thing as jokes that are just like fine, and then the crowd's just not good. That's what I'm saying. That's my take.
Everybody looks so good tonight. It's so great to see you guys outside of your pajamas. I mean, come on. Ty Lil's in a suit. Yeah. We got Max in a suit. Look at that fur coat and everything. NMP's in a lawsuit. Woo! I'd take half that any day. I feel so lucky that you guys made it so far. Some of you traveled from all over the world. You flew in, you drove in, Lacey rode on Clix's coattails. Yeah. I'd like to remind...
See, I don't know what that means, but I knew that it was a joke. I could tell the delivery. Like, and if I was a streamer and I knew about these people, I'd be laughing. What the fuck?
Everybody that this is a live show, okay? So please be respectful. Stay seated as much as possible. Hassan, if you see Sea Dog get up, you can use your remote.
Hey! They knew that joke, didn't they? Everyone knows that one. There's no escaping that one. You think they're going to mention my research clip that proved beyond a reasonable doubt that it was not, in fact, the vibrate-only caller? Do you think they're going to... Do you think they're going to do it? You think they're going to be like, hey, remember when you said it was a vibrate caller, but then Lonerbox Live YT?
Remote as much as possible. Hassan, if you see Sea Dog get up, you can use your remote.
Yes.
A lot of people have accused me of rigging the awards, okay? And I just want to once again wholeheartedly deny that. The actual person who rigged the awards is I'm Dante. Where is he? Where'd he go? Oh, wait, Dante, you're right there. It was you. Yep. I'm sorry. You've always been nice to me. You can never make anyone mad. I figured you'd take this, right, Dante? Right, Dante? He'll take it. He said yes. No, he said no. Damn it. A lot of changes have happened this year. We added a new category called Best Stream Duo. Yes. with nominees like Arky and Yugi, Sea Dog and Iron Mouse, Agent and Ozempic.
Is that mic taps? It's yeah. There's either like I think someone's saying an earring might be hitting the mic, or it's too close to her cheek. I don't know.
Cinna and Valkyrie are both here tonight. I know. The Sisathon was one of the best collabs all year. I think I speak for everyone. We were all watching it, except Stable Ronaldo because he hates women.
Hey.
Base? Yeah, yeah. While I have everyone here watching, I do want to apologize again to Jason, okay? There was a big clip mix-up with his nomination. There was a clip of him and his ex. I'm really sorry. And since we're here, I want to apologize to Sakura, not because of the clips, but since you're dating Jason.
Ooh.
Sorry about that. There are so many great streamers here tonight. Let's give it up for Kai Cenat. I want to congratulate Kai for reaching over 1 million subs. Incredible. He just barely beat out Queso, who could only eat 900,000 subs. Yeah, yeah. Mafiathon 3 was one of the best events of the entire year, all right? Yeah, we know. My favorite part was when the Jonas Brothers were on. But, you know, Kai, if you needed to hang out with 3 washed-up white guys, you could just go on Lemonade Stand. Isn't that right, Doug? You'll take them. And it's good to see you here tonight, Rakai. Where'd you go? Where's Rakai? Where's he at? Aren't you grounded or something? Like, I don't...
Hey, get this young streamer probably. Hey, whoa, let's go.
Kai, Kevin Hart, and Drewski made a movie earlier this year called Live Stream from Hell, which is also what I call it whenever Extra Emily streams while driving. Why are you excited? Pokimane said the other day that she's staying celibate by choice, whereas Sketch is staying celibate by popular demand. Black Boy Max is here. Tonight, Max is nominated for 4 Streamer Awards. And in February, he might take home a Grammy.
Ooh. Who's that? Who's that guy? Big name in the room.
Austin Show is here, and he's hoping to take home a Tony or an Oscar or anyone with a mustache.
Oh, because he's gay. Good one. Yes.
What's important is that everyone is here for a reason. Wendy Ortiz is here because she's had an incredible year. Incredible. She's not here yet. She's here maybe. Oh, there she is right there walking in, just so we say it. And Average Harry is here because Tubbo needed a ride. Dan Clancy is here. Which is really nice because I kind of see Dan as a father figure. And just like my real dad, he spends way too much time online hitting on my friends.
Yes, go off, Queen. Ooh, true. Very true. Man. I don't know why. If the audience had a set, like, why is the audience not fucking increasing at that one? That was a really good one. That was a zinger.
Sorry.
Don't say sorry. Fuck.
Earlier this year, Dan promised a Twitch crackdown on viewbots, and we all felt it. For instance, Zoil's viewership went from 5 to 4. Sorry, Zoil. Michael Reeves is here. Yeah. Not because he supports his girlfriend, but because he'll literally do anything except put out a YouTube video.
Ooh. Yeah, get
And let's give it up for Vanilla Mace. She has multiplied her audience from 300,000 to 3 million in only a few months. Yeah. If she keeps growing at that rate, next year at this time, she'll have much better things to do than be here. And Ludwig is here. Thank God he finally shaved the gross no-shave November beard he was growing.
True, yes. That beard was shit.
Well, now the only beard he has is me. Obviously, I'm kidding. Ludwig isn't a gay man. He is, in fact, more specifically, a gay woman, Ellen DeGeneres.
Hey.
If you haven't seen
They
his
even
hair,
got a
it doesn't make
picture of
sense,
her.
but he does.
Yes.
I thought about having the most famous bitch I know co-host this with me, but Kaya's a dog, so I decided to bring out the most beautiful co-host in the world, Maya Higa, everybody.
Oh. Israel had the opportunity to do the funniest thing. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. All right. Stop. Fuck me, man. Do you think that's the NCV for Hassan? What is it called? The non-combatant value or some stupid shit. Can't remember what that stands for. Okay. That's plenty. Is that plenty? We'll just comment on it.
Drama bait. Everyone joked about the remote. Dude, no, honestly, people in the room were actually not fucking with the remote jokes at all. And it made me realize that like a lot of people on the internet, they love that shit.
What is this fucking cope, man? People were blanking half of the fucking jokes because of how sensitive everyone is. What the fuck? What is this rewrite?
But a lot of people in the space were like, ugh. But I mean, I don't really give a shit. I obviously played it off well, but in not really knowing what to expect this year because, like, you know, despite this being,
it's like it's like there were 3 jokes that got audible laughter, and that was one of them. What?
A fairly big year for me and this community as well. This is this has been my most like politically impactful year of my career for the past 12 years. This has been the most impact that I have direct.
How? What? Because you single-handedly got Zoran Mamdani elected. Is that what we're talking? What's he talking about?
Directly had this community has directly had. So going into the streamer awards, like because most of my interactions with the rest of the streaming space has been like relatively negative as a consequence of all the fucking, you know, clips and all the fucking dick riders, like the nonstop.
Like Mamdani had to disavow your fucking retarded comments on the debate stage. What the fuck are we talking about? Jesus. He's referring to the fact that he got fucking puff pieces in the New York Times. Like that's all it is. I'm not exactly sure how that's politically impactful, but you know,
dick riding that's taken place. I didn't know what to expect, even though like I know all these people and I've like, you know, collaborated with them in the past, but I was like kind of bubbled in. So I was actually still very much excited to see all these guys, but I just didn't know what to expect. And it was the same as every other year. It turns out that it turns out no, everybody's like, no, you're fucking, you know, everyone is chill. Everyone's chill as hell. If there's one thing that I think has ruined streaming, it's the drama. It's the fucking endless.
This guy fucking loves the drama. What the fuck are we talking about? Like, never have I seen a political streamer like this of this size or a political commentator so quickly resort to looking into people's personal lives and making personal attacks and lying about people when he faces any disagreement. Like, dude, you love drama. You are the drama.
Drama baiting. You know? It's the endless drama baiting and the parasocial nature of like how certain fandoms will lean into certain agendas, right? It's definitely agenda talk associated like as a secondary market for content consumption.
He's so fucking clueless, man. Do you think he thinks that because he had his little laugh meter with him? He had a little recorder and just turned it off when the dog jokes came off. No results here. No readings on that one.
The Casey Tron settlement has caused a catastrophic meltdown from Denim seemingly
I'm slopping out.
throwing Frogan under the bus, from his sound crashing out repeatedly.
Ethan is literally behaving like Israel. This is like Israel style behavior.
Yes.
It's fine because he said Israeli, lying every step of the way.
If I offer support, you won't know about it.
But I don't want to just recap her statement. I want to go through and see just how genuine Casey was being. Because just in her previous stream 6 days earlier, Casey was back to playing full YouTube videos without her even being there. They're just auto-playing into each other while she's not there. Not a single comment on any of these. Casey is playing full Mariah Carey music videos. She's receiving subs as the music video's playing. The only time she chimed...
Wait, this is before the apology, right? This is before the hostage video.
in is to say thank you to the donation.
Oh my god, wait, you guys really are keeping the train going.
Before going back to being silent for the rest of the video.
Thank you guys. That was alright, thank you.
Man, she's so good. She's so bad. She's so cool. I love it. Like, so, Matt, I saw this, where was this? Glad I unsubbed this sped. Oh yeah, you're definitely giving yourself away there. Where is the thing? Oh yeah, here. Was it this person? Sorry to break it to you people, but Casey Tron having family members who rely on her does not exempt her from the law. As much as you may sympathize with them, you can't use their existence / the fact that she provides for them as a get out of jail free card for her when it comes to the literal law. The lawsuit was about content theft and fair use. She explicitly stated she was streaming Ethan's video to deprive him of revenue. That's not fair use, period. It's also interesting that the people who use this as an argument as to why Ethan suing her was so evil seem to forget the fact that Ethan had also family and children that depend on him, yet they wish for his total demise, which would directly impact them too. At the end of the day, empathy doesn't exempt someone from accountability. You can care about her circumstances and still acknowledge that what she did violated fair use and had real consequences for someone else's livelihood. Whoa. Damn. Shit. Whoa. Strong statement. Strong statement.
Yes! So either Casey learned a lot in the 6 days leading up to her apology, or we're gonna see her stealing content and end up right back in court in the near future. I also want to touch on Hassan, who didn't send Casey any financial support. He didn't even bother to send her a nice message.
I also want to make clear that I did not receive any support, financial or otherwise, from Hassan Piker. Hassan never even reached out to me privately to offer words of support.
Because I feel like people have grossly understated how much Hassan has encouraged Casey to fight this losing lawsuit. He's repeatedly called it frivolous, that it's not going anywhere.
So transparently a mechanism of bullying people through frivolous litigation. And even if the litigation doesn't go anywhere, which it won't, for the record.
I said the lawsuit was frivolous and based on
Oh, fuck. That's a really false sense of security there.
misogyny. It was to garner sympathy, protect my own reputation, and
I usually don't use these fucking heuristics, but when you hear like a fucking socialist or a communist talking about law, like you can almost be 100% sure that whatever the truth of the matter is going to be the opposite of whatever they've just told you. Like I don't know how these guys can be so fucking ignorant of these systems that they want abolished. Like, yeah, but I guess that's why they have that position, right? They don't know anything about them.
retaliate against the Kleins.
He pushed the narrative that the only reason Ethan wasn't suing him is because he had the funds.
He's not doing it to me but I'm a much larger content creator that can put up a stronger opposition and can withstand litigation like this.
But most importantly, he heavily implied that he would help them out with their legal fees.
I go through this back and forth where I'm like, should I not cover this at all? But also because I know that's what he wants ultimately. He wants attention. He's like a fucking petulant child, a pathetic crybaby, a permanent victim. But also at the same time, it's like, I feel like if I don't give any attention to this with my platform, it's like, then then I feel like I'm leaving these people defenseless.
Yeah, you told me they're out to dry, man.
He has also admitted multiple times he wants to hurt you financially through them as if you were their legal guardian. No, I know. That's why he keeps saying like, oh, socialist. Why?
Let's debate Pisco about this yesterday. Oh no.
Won't he give these guys money? Trust me, if I offer support, you won't know about it. Okay?
What is this face if not implying he would help Casey? So if you break down what Hassan's saying, he's saying if you have the funds that he has, Ethan can't win the lawsuit and that he's going to fund them. But what's Hassan do? Not give him a dime and continue to feign every month that he cares, demanding that Ethan drops the frivolous lawsuit.
Drop the frivolous litigation pursuit. Drop the lawsuits, Ethan. Drop the lawsuits. You know they're frivolous. You know it has nothing to do with copyright or anything like that.
Casey would continuously talk on stream on how she might have to foreclose her home. She's tweeting out how isolated she feels through all of this. Hassan's viewers would beg him to
Bro, where's the fucking video where she's like in a field and it's like, where's Hassan? She's got like the green screen of a field behind her. That was so funny. Fuck. Where is it? Do you guys know which video I'm talking about? She's like obviously very stoned in it. Where's Hassan, you guys? What? Where's that video? Fuck, maybe it's on my, maybe I go film it. Didn't Ethan admit himself this was for petty reasons? Not that I know of. But that's civil suits are just, it's really just up to whoever, if you want to sue someone, right? Like civil suits are pretty voluntary. It's not like the state has to force anyone to face the courts or anything. No, not a real green field, a fucking green screen, you idiot. What? Ah! Oh my god. Filmart is really pushing my buttons here. Oh.
Her out and he'd say, can't, I'm in China.
Do you plan to address the hate campaign against Casey Tron? What hate campaign against Casey Tron? Like the same people that attack me all the time? Is that what you're saying? I'm in China, man.
This is insane, but it's not all bad news for Casey. She did find a smoking alternative.
But yeah, so I got these bubbles to kind of help with the smoking. I have an oral fixation that I use to cope with my anxiety, where it's like I smoke weed. One of the reasons why a lot of people who smoke in general use like smoking as a way to regulate their anxiety is the breath work.
Well, do I have the perfect solution for you? Fume is the all-natural flavored air device, which are quickly becoming the leading alternatives to vaping and smoking. The best part is there's no nicotine, no vapor, no battery, and that means there's no restrictions. You could use it anywhere. I think we all have that friend, coworker, or family member that's struggling with a bad habit. Well, Fume is the perfect gift to get them on the right track. My favorite part about Fume is that's the greatest fidget toy ever made. You can twist it, tap it. It's magnetic. You can get this base for it that's so satisfying.
What is this?
Just because I didn't react to his stupid video, he had to make up that I did and put a video of me smoking weed over his stupid video to get attention. I'm sorry, I don't give a fuck about your video. Like, I don't know. I don't recall reacting to it. I don't believe that I reacted to it. I do not remember. I don't know. I may have been under the influence, but I do not recall reacting to it.
That's from 5 months ago. Jesus. Why did I never see that one before? That's so good. That's an amazing video. What the fuck? What a queen.
To use. And it comes in a wide variety of flavors. My favorite is spearmint. I had this horrible habit of getting stuck or bored at work, so I'd get up and grab a snack or a 4th cup of coffee that I definitely don't need. Now I just fidget with my Fume a bit, get a little stimulant of flavor, and I'm right back to work. So this holiday season, give a loved one the gift of better habits by having them join the over 700,000 people that have switched to Fume. If you use code WillyMac when you order the Journey Pack, you'll get a free Fume topper, which makes the fidgeting that much better. Again, that's tryfume.com/WillyMac or scan the QR code to start today. Thank you, Fume, for sponsoring this video.
Halloween, ketamine, jelly bean, puff. Shove it in my brain, get it all mixed up.
Just want to be clear, Hassan knew about Casey's financial struggles from day one.
Casey's the sole provider for her disabled parents. They were blue-collar workers and are now elderly and rely on her.
She's crying, begging for donations because she doesn't want to put her parents on the street.
My mother, father, and sister all struggle with disability and housing instability. They are my family and they depend on me. Just this month, like many other low-income Americans, my mother and disabled sister had their food stamps taken away. Under the current political climate, the future of funding for other assistance is uncertain. I cannot afford to fail them. I simply want this nightmare to be over so that I can go back to providing my family with my full support.
Hassan during this time was vacationing in China, betting on horses.
Betting it all on a horse race.
I put $1,000 on my boo-boo.
Does it sound like the boo-boo?
A little bit.
It's also just like really hard.
China's amazing, guys. You know, they have this thing where you can go to a track and there are these horses and they run around in a circle and you can like place money on which one's gonna make it all the way around the circle first. And you can just do that. You can bet $1,000 and if your horse wins, you might get like $5,000. Yeah, really, that's so cool.
You know, and even like
Don't even get me started on the trains. They have trains.
with like my mom and like my dad and like my grandparents and stuff, it's like I don't want them to know like how this is affecting me and like how hard this is and like how financially damaging this is.
They're lining up. Let's go. They're lining up. Oh,
They're racing. Go, go, go!
I won! You guys won like 30 grand.
You won 30,000 Hong Kong dollars? I don't know.
Rich, keep getting fucking richer.
I was like, I need to hurry up and do this quick before
Listen,
my
I'm
dad-
sorry. I don't understand this fucking sympathy baiting. You understand that in chess, the pawns go first, okay? And sometimes you gotta give up a few pawns to finish the game, okay? Sorry. Hassan didn't choose this orbiter, right? He can do what he fucking wants. He wants to go to China and fucking LARP as a socialist while he just gapes his fucking hole at every single thing that he sees in that country that you could easily just find in a capitalist country. Oh, wow, they have a fucking iPhone that you could turn into a keyboard. That's so crazy. Wow. Oh, that's fucking mental, dude. That's crazy. Tell me more. Oh, wow, they have trains that go a bit faster than the other trains. Really? What? Like that doesn't exist in Spain or Japan or France? That's fucking mental, man. Tell me about how, oh, what? They've got a fucking Gucci next to a fucking brutalist building? Wow. Really, brutalist architecture. I never see that in the fucking capitalist liberal democracy. That's fucking nuts. Wealth inequality. Tell me more. What? Urban and rural development. Really? Oh, rural. There's a fucking urban-rural divide in China. That's so fucking mental. Really, the one fucking issue that has probably been more prescient in Chinese economics since the fucking revolution of the urban-rural divide. And you think there's something special about China trying to invest a little bit more in their rural economy? He's allowed to do all of that, okay? Because he's the king. And Casey is a pawn that the king didn't even choose.
Dad wakes up so he doesn't see me. Like, I feel like I'm also kind of like hiding a lot of the pain from my family.
How much do you think I won? The money spread? Oh. And those are thousands, by the way. I won $30,000. $30,000.
You know, like my whole life, it's just been a fucking fight to get through and survive.
If we put the whole pile of cash that she had, I would have made 60 American grand. I gotta do like a photo out there with the money spread, like with the racetrack behind me.
Did you know that in China you can like hire people to do things for you? That's fucking nuts, dude. I was like in China and there were these people. They were like, "Hey, can I take pictures of you for money?" And they're like, "Whoa, what? A person who takes pictures for money? Whoa, excuse. I would not. Listen, just take a step back, okay? I come from a capitalist country, okay? I come from a capitalist country. You're telling me that I can give someone money and they'll take pictures in a tourist location? That's fucking meant. They have a KFC in China?
I'm sick of just surviving. You know what I mean?
Hassan won about $3,000 US, but that is still a significant amount of money to these people. That is 10% of the money Frogan raised that he's flexing in this throwaway bet. When Casey posted her settlement video, Hassan came back from his vacation in China to now vacationing in Ireland.
I'm in Ireland. We might even do a little IRL out to the pubs.
This man is a degenerate, okay? This is what happens. It's the good and the bad of operating a socialist business where we have a cooperative. So it's equal say, equal pay.
Hassan never even reached out to me privately to offer words of support. Speaking honestly, I found his indifference to my suffering hurtful, especially after he hinted he might help me behind the scenes. It felt like he wanted to receive credit from the public for helping me without providing any.
That's what makes it so funny. Like Noah Sampson, Hassan's never actually going to risk anything. Casey complained about this in her video, and Hassan never addresses it.
You settled? And threw you under the bus, kind of? What do you mean? Under what bus? Something about your indifference, but whatever. We shouldn't talk about this, to be honest. No, great. She should have went harder. You think I give a shit? I want this legal bullying to end. You can say whatever the f you want about me. If it's gonna get Ethan Klein off your ass, go ahead.
He's trying to spin him not supporting her as somehow being support. It's remarkable, really.
She had to say, you said you will help, but did not help at all, and just use it to make yourself popular. That's what they demanded in the settlement. That's so sad. But hey, yeah, no, that's right. I'm a bad person.
He doesn't even deny that it's true. Only Hassan could do nothing and then still act like he did Casey some big favor.
Say whatever the fuck you want about how much of a fucking douchebag I am, how much you hate me.
To be fair, he is, in this regard, he's very much like the Houthis. You know, he's very much like the Axis of Resistance. It's like, we're just going to, it's mostly going to be lip service. You know, occasionally we'll fire off a little rocket and it'll just get intercepted by the Iron Dome, but we'll pretend we did something. Or we'll just target other people and pretend that that's part of helping you. That's you know, if Ethan's Israel, then Hassan's the Axis. It makes perfect sense.
In your settlement negotiations,
yap.
If Ethan
Totally
Klein is
fucking
up
useless.
your asshole, crawling up your asshole, hell yeah. You think I give a shit? What are you, crazy? I want this insane torment to end. I'm glad that Casey Tron no longer has to deal with this fucking nightmare.
He describes it as a nightmare, but he literally didn't care at all. I can't even find more than one instance of him promoting her GoFundMe. Ethan is being labeled as cruel for having Casey Tron post this as part of their settlement, but don't get it twisted, this is mercy. Ethan did not have to settle with her, and she is still able to use the remainder of her funds to pay legal fees. However, everything after that is going to Ethan. None of it can go to helping Denims or Frogan.
As to the GoFundMe money, to the extent there are any remaining funds after I pay my attorney's fees, I have agreed to pay the remaining funds to the Kleins. The funds will not go to anyone else, including Denims or Frogan, to defend their lawsuits.
And this matters because Casey raised the most money. So Hassan doing nothing has led to Denims and Frogan being screwed even more. Denims is panicking. She's posting her entire legal defense to Twitter, but in it she leaks that Frogan is likely gonna settle too. Ethan posted that as far as he knows, Hassan has sent zero financial support to any of these women. At times it seems like Hassan isn't helping them because he knows they're going to lose the lawsuit. He's like, Ethan doesn't have a chance to sue me because I didn't react to it the same way.
Are you worried he will ever try to sue you? No. Why the fuck would I be worried that he would try to sue me? What can he sue me over? Nothing. Yeah, what's he gonna do? Defame me and then sue me for not suing him for defamation? What are we talking about?
This guy's so unfunny. His final comment on this topic is saying that Ethan is acting like Israel. No farther explanation.
Yeah, by the way, Ethan is literally behaving like Israel. This is like Israel-style behavior.
If you think about it for a second, you know exactly what he means by that. Well, what am I watching? A Nick Fuentes broadcast? It sounds like you're just calling him a Jew.
By the way, Ethan is literally behaving like Israel. This is like
what?
Israel.
You better explain what that means. Because it sounds really weird. I really think you should explain what you mean by that.
Well, you did genocide Casey's bank account. And just like Gaza, Hassan didn't even bother to show up.
Gross. Let's get back to real shit.
Whoa.
That's it. He's going for it. You're going for it.
First off, I want to reiterate that I don't feel bad for Casey. Throughout this entire lawsuit, she's been nonstop stealing content, demanding that the H3 employees quit, making fun of Olivia, who felt overwhelmed by H3 Snark and Anissa targeting her. It took her having to face legal consequences and the realization that her online friends were never going to meaningfully back her up for her to finally apologize. Let me get this straight. Your family financially relies on you. They're on food.
Israel is known for suing and then forgiving their enemies. Yeah, that's all they do, isn't it?
The only way out of this situation is a settlement through Ethan. So what do? You call his wife the C word.
This no good motherfucker and his ugly ass wife.
I have a feeling she's not changing, man. Moving on to Denims, we touched on her statement a little bit. And
That's the video in the fucking field. Where is this? Where did this clip come from? Is this it?
Blast you to fucking hell. No, like, what the fuck? Oh, this no good motherfucker and his ugly ass wife. Fucking cunt. God.
So, first of all, my intention of this statement is not to blame Ethan Klein or accuse him of malicious conduct. So please refrain from making any hateful posts about him. If he believes he has a copyright claim, he is entitled to pursue it.
Oh my God. I need that full fucking, I need that, and I'll watch that entire stream. I will watch that entire stream. This no good motherfucker.
I have a feeling she's not changing, man. Moving on to Denims, we touched on her statement a little bit and how she immediately threw Frogan under the bus, saying she was gonna settle. Well, apparently Ethan knows nothing about it.
Well, Casey and likely Frogan have caved to Ethan. Why is she throwing Frogan? Like, that's a sneak diss, bro. Why are you sneak dissing Frogan? That was super catty.
Is Frogan,
or is she giving us information?
I can talk about it. No, there's no there's been no settlement talks or anything.
Okay, well then that's fucking crazy for her to say. She knows something that you don't.
But then why would you say it even
that
then?
Also is not
so
good.
They could donate to her GoFundMe and not bother with her.
So she just wants people to donate only to her, probably.
I watched Denim's stream of her trying to explain all of this, and it comes down to Ethan is in the wrong because none of the good guys are supporting him.
Like, you have to take a look and see that.
Oh yeah, you can always tell. I was looking at this yesterday. You can always tell when a debate went okay, because if you look at what the other side says about it, because obviously if you drop like 4 hours worth of like information in a debate, then there's like a huge risk that you'll say something wrong or get called out for it, or like they'll spam clips if you're making like a mistake or whatever. But like all it is like, oh, he's Lord of Bucks can only play little semantic game. Like this is when you know they have absolutely fucking nothing. Like it's such a, that's good. Comments like this are funny. Comments like this help. Because you know, if I actually did something that was like worthy of showing like a Cookie Rocket segment or whatever the fuck, then yeah, you would actually like blast that. But it's just like, this guy's just playing semantic games. Chris keeps bringing up books and sources. Oh yeah, what? Like, dude, he was like asking me for fucking sources for the things I was saying. I was giving them to him. Like, Jesus. Whatever. What are they referring to? Yesterday's debate. Like, but that's why it's so frustrating. Like, and I guess this is the thing with you guys as well, is that you're not really like a, despite everything, you're not really like the same kind of drama toxic community. Like, imagine if that thing with the poll, right? That whole bit where he was like struggling to, like, he brought up that poll about Palestinians not wanting a equal one-state solution. And him sitting there for like 5 minutes, or what felt like a long time, struggling to read through the sources and trying to salvage the idea that there was like some kind of potential for a popular support for an equal one-state solution on either side, and misreading the or thinking that 1200 is too small a sample size, or misreading the bars and thinking that the unequal state was actually the equal state, and think it was like just being really like, if I had spent 5 minutes doing that, like that would be blasted all over the fucking internet. Like Hassan would be watching it, the Disinfo Tracker, History Speed, like all these people would be fucking nuking me with that stuff. And but if it happens on the other side, like people just don't give a fuck. Like no one cares. Like they can just get away with it. So it's a little bit one-sided, you know?
Like, none of the good guys are on your side.
If Hassan's the good guy, apparently he wasn't on Casey's side either. He then claims Legal Eagle and Philly D haven't made videos on Ethan because they're scared of him.
The fact that Legal Eagle hasn't dropped a video and that Philly D hasn't dropped a video, it's not because they don't have opinions. It's because they know that if they ever side against Ethan Klein, they have to deal with obscene harassment.
Wow, so all these rich content creators are just silently supporting you guys.
Do you actually want us to soy out at every little stumble your opponents make, though? I don't know. I think if people start attacking me with stuff like clips or whatever, then I think it is probably valuable for people to be clipping stuff because it's like at the end of the day, it's defensive, you know, because I'm guessing in the next 48 hours, people are going to find something I've said in like a 15-second or 30-second space that they can take to twist, or maybe I just said something factually incorrect, or maybe I made a mistake somewhere myself. Like, that's easily possible. And then I'm sitting there with without something to throw back. It's kind of annoying, right? Whereas I've literally got someone with a fucking master's degree not trusting a poll because the sample size is 1,200. Like, that's insanely fucking stupid. Like, but, you know. Isn't the problem that one side doesn't care about the facts? Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, like that's why there's like a natural disadvantage going on. Yeah. But I don't know. I'm sure because on the one hand, it's like kind of weird to be encouraging your community to start clipping stuff to like do gotcha moments and stuff like that. But if they're going to do it to you, then there's obviously like nothing else you can. You're kind of against the wall there, right?
They aren't doing it with their money. They aren't doing it with videos. They certainly aren't messaging you. But yeah, they support you. They're totally cool with your GoFundMe goal not being reached. Like, when you think about it, it's crazy. I would have thought Ian and Anissa were millionaires. They only
Do you think Kunzler is anti-Semitic? Probably not, no. I think he is, I think you could make the argument that he is influenced by anti-Semites, or is a useful idiot for anti-Semites. Not even an idiot, just like a useful asset to anti-Semites. Yeah, I think that's true.
Sent them $1,400, which is now going to Ethan.
iDubbbz is down here on the list getting cucked with the 420. Anissa spends $1,000 to get on the top tier list. I'm sorry, but I find that hilarious.
They might hyper-focus on you not knowing that Rabin served in the 70s and the 90s. Well, I thought we were talking about the night, but yeah, I didn't. That was definitely a blind spot for me, 74 to 77. But I wasn't even. It's weird because I wasn't even talking about the 70s. I was talking about Rabin in the 90s. But okay, yeah, sure. Bad empanada.
Either way, $1's a dollar, and I want to thank you both.
Like, man, for these all being the good guys, they just seem like a bunch of greedy assholes to me. Ethan spent more money on security for my wedding. She talks about how her reaction was twice as long as the content knew, so the video is fair use. So I went back and watched it, and she goes 10 minutes at a time without pausing or saying anything.
They call him Timothy Chalamet because he's a Houthi.
Bro, are we about to have a Houthi rebel on?
I'm sure he's going to present evidence of him being a Houthi.
This was her contribution.
All right, let's see here. Tel Aviv will burn in the coming hours, ready for sacrifice and eager for martyrdom. Maybe he's talking about football? Here he is singing a song with the words, "Do you threaten us with what we are waiting for, son of a Jew?" Meaning of Houthi is a title, and it's not something to fear, but for the Jews. They are very afraid of this title.
Smiling.
The execution we will carry out on all Zionists, with the lovely depiction of a man impaled through his asshole and out of his mouth. With
Guys, I know for a fact that auto-translate is always good.
How could it be mistranslated? It's a fucking image. Does she think this is hieroglyphics, Braille? I don't get it. Her commentary is that she says something is a stupid statement and then she just sits in silence.
Auto-translate is always good.
Well, just go and check if the translation's correct, dipshit. What the fuck? Oh god, it's so intentional. It's so intentional. If you really believe that it was a bad translation, you would check. There's no fucking shot you don't have one person in this audience who speaks Arabic, like, right? Just Jesus.
I don't get it. Did she blue screen?
This is a take you can only have. Ethan Klein's take is one that you can only have if the Arabic language terrifies you, and looking into it at all and understanding how these Arabic words sound and translate.
Yes, son of a Jew is literally just like it's a fairly boomer-ish Arab saying, which it's just like it's like a stand-in for son of a bitch. Like that's all it means. Yeah, it's fairly common. Yeah. I know that because I asked fucking boomer, like my boomer Arab relatives, what does this mean? And they're like, yeah, that's the kind of, just it means like son of a bitch, but you say son of a Jew. Yeah.
You can only come to this position if you refuse to believe this. And you're like, Arabic. Oh God, it's so scary.
Does Arabic have anything to do with this? No, not at all. If you happen to be confused at all, the Houthi kid posted a photo for reference. Denims is just pausing the video while saying nothing. Does she think this is transformative?
To every Zionist, I will put this into your stomach. And let me state the obvious.
Denims will let the video play nearly uninterrupted for 5 or 10 minutes, and then she pauses to read her chat, often to just say that she doesn't have time to explain why Ethan's wrong. He just is.
If I sat here and explained why he was wrong for like half of these things, we would be here for another 20 hours. It's so pathetic. I don't even understand what to say about it besides, yeah, this is wrong because this. Another wrong take. Okay, well, I just paused it for 10 minutes. I feel bad pausing it again.
You have nothing else going on. Now, Denims definitely has the best chance to win her lawsuit because she doesn't just get up and leave. She wasn't smoking the whole time. Instead, she added commentary like this.
If you look all over the world, you will find no one more miserly or greedy than
the leader of the terrorist group against the so-called state of Israel is anti-Semitic. I'm so glad you were able to crack the case on this. Thank you.
Yeah, but don't, like, your entire fucking social circle believes that's not true, Bob. Like, what?
Okay.
This reaction is only long because she sarcastically repeats what Ethan says and just sits there with it paused. Does that constitute as fair use? It's up to a judge. But again, I think the most important part is Denim stating her intent to steal Ethan's views and revenue.
The second statement is a throwaway shill comment I said after the video before signing off. Quote, well, guys, if you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video, follow, subscribe, throw a prime if you like my content. As an aside, this statement is factual. Almost certainly, if someone watched my coverage, they had no interest in watching Ethan's video without the addition of critical commentary and never would have. Most you can say this is a mean-spirited comment in poor taste.
Oh, so it's the Alex Jones defense. When you get called out, just act like nothing you say matters.
I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
And none of this includes how Denims has been one of the biggest content thieves for years, just walking away while videos are still playing, play full videos without being there at all. And now she's like, guys, this is setting a bad precedent for React content.
In his lawsuit against me, he has set a disastrous precedent for our corner of the internet, and my only hope is that others in the community with resources like Ethan's do not follow in his small footsteps.
Your corner of the internet sucks. For 8 years, people have complained about how you guys steal content.
What am I supposed to do? Die? Like, I don't understand.
You ignored everyone, and now you got sued.
The precedent that anyone can just go after random smaller creators because they have more money than them, and no one will bat an eye, and no one will be like, whoa, 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 whoa. Watch it, dude. Watch it. Wait, we like React. We like React content. Stop.
Where else was this gonna end up? The bar that 95% of creators had was to simply just be there while the video was playing. Ethan set the bar even lower, where all you had to do was not state that you're stealing the video, and just still failed that. I also want to point out that Denims admits on stream that she has no idea if Frogan's going to settle or not. So why did she tweet that out?
I also know that she hasn't really made any public statements at all and hasn't really talked about it at all. And obviously Casey's already settled, and I can only assume that Frogan is probably going to, because again, she's missed the deadline. And for the guy who was bragging about, you know, filing for default judgment the last time that she had missed the deadline, it seems weird that he's just like, oh, well, I know I was bragging about doing this before, but now I'm not going to do it.
It just sounds like she's assuming a lot of this, so it comes off as her trying to cuck Frogan for donations.
I can't blame her at all for that.
Uh-oh.
And so that is to say, rally behind me, okay?
Mina, thanks for the tier 4 sub. Segregate the internet's two-state solution style. Ooh, true. Aha, thanks for the $4.99. Yeah, my main man, Manny Mandani, actively shouted me out during the dunk fest. Those hack geezers had no idea what hit him. Cool, Hassan. True. Wow. Twig, Mister, thanks for the 11 euros twice. And you, thanks for the 19.99. Let's go, MAGA Civil War. Sir Johnny, thanks for the tier 1 sub. Specky Twat, thanks for throwing sub. Wow.
I will be your warrior. I will be your.
Also, sorry, 4 minutes left in the goal, you guys. 4 minutes. You guys got a long way to go. 4 supers. The goal's lacking. Goal!
Chosen warrior.
Pricks.
Okay, I will be
Assholes.
your fighter.
Bet they could really use Hassan's help. I wonder what he's doing.
Thank you for inviting us.
Socialism is not about charity. It's literally the exact opposite. There would be no need for charity.
It's the opposite of charity. It's fucking brilliant.
Exactly.
It could still exist, but there would be no need for it ultimately because the government would provide for you.
Well, that answers it. Denims isn't getting
So what do we do with the government's not providing for them?
Either. This is socialism. See, it's not Hassan failing you, it's the government. They should back your lawsuit. Take it to the polls, Frogan. Like the video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed. Check out Fume. And shout out to the homies over on Patreon. Crimson Glass.
Hey, Alita, thanks for the $9.99. Getting us closer to that goal. 3 minutes, 3 supers. Fuck. It's not charity, okay? It's solidarity. Give me some solidarity in the chat. Fuck. It's the opposite of charity. It's fucking brilliant. Okay. The people who need stuff give to us. The opposite of charity. I want to watch this. Second phase of Gaza ceasefire imminent ? I had no idea if this is really. Do we believe this is? I have no idea. I haven't been fought. Last I heard is just like people getting fucking airstriked for crossing the little yellow line, even if they're like 8 years old. Well done, IDF. And then on the other side, you've got Hamas saying, we're just regrouping. Okay, this is a tactical regroup. We'll be back on their ass any minute now.
It's been 3 years since the last Christmas tree was lit in Manger Square in Bethlehem. October the 7th and the Gaza conflict.
2 more minutes, 2 chats, guys. 2 more minutes. Dwayne, thanks for $10. Zoni, thanks for the 20 Danish. Wow.
Darkened the lights and so much else. But the glimmers of seasonal hope, a little more than that. In Gaza, the Israeli airstrikes have continued sporadically since the ceasefire deal was signed, killing over 370 Palestinians. And amidst the apocalyptic rubble of Gaza, almost all the remaining bodies of the hostages have now been handed over by a Hamas showing no signs of disarming.
What is this logo? Is this a civil defense or... why do I not recognize this logo? What the fuck is this logo? Did they do Christmas in Bethlehem? Yeah, they would. What? What is this logo? Is it the rebrand? No? It's not civil defense. Is it police? The black one, PIJ. No, PIJ has fists, though. Why don't I recognize this logo? You're covering it. That one. Is it Islamic Jihad? Oh, it is. It is. They have the fists are there. That's okay. I thought I remembered the fist going diagonally. Yeah. So those are 2 fists. This is the Dome of the Rock. This is Palestine. All of it, and that's the 2 guns. This is Islamic Jihad. Okay. Smelly Mental, thanks for the $5. Wow, Merry Christmas. Appreciate that. Wow. The December push, guys. New goal. Are those like a Saudi coalition force or something? This is absolutely not a Saudi coalition force. No, this is Islamic Jihad guys or Hamas guys or.
And then there's the sheer level of Israeli destruction and the daunting clear-up that has barely begun.
Jesus.
And yet, despite the backdrop of this grim reality, the Israeli Prime Minister told the visiting German Chancellor that phase 2 of the Gaza peace deal was imminent.
We finished the first part, as you know,
phase one, we're almost there. We have one more hostage deceased, Hani Gvili, a hero of Israel, to return here. And then we very shortly expect to move into the second phase, which is more difficult.
That phase of the ceasefire deal focuses on the governance and security mechanisms that will administer Gaza instead of Hamas. It calls for a technocratic Palestinian government overseen by a board of peace chaired by one President Trump. Hamas to disarm, surrendering both its heavy and lighter weapons, a full Israeli withdrawal from the Gaza Strip, and the deployment of an international stabilization force inside.
Has there been a change? Why is he so confident that this is that there's a shift here? All I've seen from Hamas, or again, bearing this is scattered information from like the last couple of months now, but all I've seen in passing from Hamas is like every now and then one of their fucking top guys will say, "Yeah, we're actually regrouping, we're rebuilding, we're we're arming up again, we're fixing our tunnels." Dude, did something change? Can someone show me if anything changed here? Fuck, hang on. What's the maybe Dropsite will tell me. You know, they're really reliable for this. I thought disarmament was part of phase one. No, it never was, that I'm aware of. Position on disarmament. Right, 2 days ago. There might have been a shift. Now, please don't, oh God, please don't be the thing. Please don't be the thing. Because it's always, when I see these headlines, there's going to be like some caveat that just basically means it's a yes but a no, but I'm just trying to not, I'm trying to keep my hopes up. Fuck, hang on. Latest update was they agreed not to use weapons for 10-year truce is something they've been saying for fucking 20 years. Like, that's nothing. Stop poisoning the well. I just want to read the articles. I've got 3 up here. 3. We'll see. Ugh. I don't even know where this website is, but apparently it's got interview. Dude. This might not be new, but let's see. Bassem Naim. Hamas is ready to discuss freezing or storing its arsenal of weapons as part of a ceasefire with Israel, a senior official said Sunday, offering a possible formula to resolve one of the thorniest issues in the US brokered government. Bassem Naim, a member of Hamas's decision-making political bureau, spoke as the sides prepared to move to the second and more complicated phase of the agreement. We are open to a comprehensive approach in order to avoid further escalations or in order to avoid any further clashes or explosions. He said in Doha, the deal halted a 2-year Israeli offensive in Gaza. More difficult phase. What's the rest saying here? See what NPR says. Hamas is changing its long-held position that its weapons are a red line, now saying, are we willing to lay down arms, but with certain conditions? If it's going to be the thing where they just say they want to keep defensive weapons or whatever the like, that's going to be not too novel, but let's see. A narrow window might be opening for a sustainable ceasefire in Gaza. Hamas leaders tell NPR the group is willing to lay down its arms, but with conditions. It's a major shift for the armed Palestinian group after 2 years of war, and it comes at a delicate moment in the ceasefire that President Trump has brokered. NPR international correspondent Aya Batraoui joins us from Qatar, where she met with 2 senior Hamas leaders to discuss what they're willing to concede. Hey there! Hi. So, Israel's prime minister says the next phase of the ceasefire is about the disarmament of Hamas. What did the group's senior leaders tell you about that? Well, Scott, I think it's important for us to say that Hamas is a group that sees itself as a political, ideologically Islamist resistance movement, and its leadership maintains that Palestinians under international law have a right to bear arms so long as there's an Israeli occupation and no Palestinian state. And while they continue to insist that this is their right, we're now hearing a shift, and this is due to pressure from Israel's continued occupation of Gaza and from regional countries and the groups depends on. Now, Bassem Naim, a member of Hamas's political leadership based in Qatar, told NPR that the group is willing not to use its weapons for 5, 7, or 10 years. Bassem Naim, okay, during this time, we are ready to store it, to lay it down with Palestinian guarantees, with regional guarantees, international guarantees, not to use it as long as we are not attacked. Because the second question is always, okay, Palestinians have to be disarmed. What about the other side? I thought these are always just like the same. Like when I see this, I always just hear like the same vague, equivocating like answers, but it just depends on what they're actually physically going to do. On the other side, he also says there has to be a political track, negotiations that end with a Palestinian independent state. But the creation of a Palestinian state is something this Israeli government insists will not happen. And crucially, Scott, talks on all of this haven't even begun. Mediators say they're waiting on the Trump administration to kickstart phase 2 negotiations still. So how will all this happen? And what does the ceasefire plan that both sides agreed to back in October, what does that say about how to do this? It really doesn't say much. It's a vague plan that both sides agreed to, but it does state that Hamas will decommission its weapons, but it doesn't say how or in what order. And the Trump plan also calls for something else, an international stabilization force to be deployed to Gaza. Now the Trump administration wants the ISF on the ground in Gaza by early next year. The US even secured a UN mandate for that already. Yeah, Security Council, didn't they? Russia and China abstained. God. Now we've heard Turkey, Egypt, Indonesia, Pakistan as possible countries that could join, but none have yet committed because they want to know exactly what their troops would be doing in Gaza. Would they be in charge of storing Hamas's weapons, destroying tunnels? You know, these countries are not going to send their soldiers there to fight Hamas. They want this to be a peacekeeping force that's welcomed on the ground, and Hamas says it supports the deployment of the ISF under certain conditions. Here's Naim again. We're welcoming the ISF as a peacekeeping force near the borders to separate between the parties, but all Palestinians are against any mandate which authorized these forces to intervene inside the cities in any direct duties against the Palestinian will. So what he's saying, they agree on the ISF acting as a buffer between Israel and Hamas to monitor the ceasefire, but not in population centers. Last question, big picture. You have this interview with Hamas leaders after 2 years of war. This is a war that began with the group's deadly attack on Israel on October 7th. 2 years later, Hamas is in ruins. Tens of thousands of people have been killed in Israeli airstrikes. How are they viewing this military campaign? Yes, Gaza has become unlivable. People are wounded, living in tents. Winter is coming. Families are still hungry. Hospitals are decimated, and the group has lost a lot of popularity in Gaza because of this. But they say the world witnessed these Israeli attacks in Gaza and that it turned public opinion against Israel globally and in the US. They call this a strategic, irreversible win despite the very high cost. That's NPR's Aya Batrawi in Doha, Qatar. Thank you very much. Thank you, Scott. Okay. And it still has a lot of the same. Unfortunately, it does have a lot of the same caveats that are, like when they say they're going to store weapons, like they store it themselves or they give it to another body for storage. Like that's probably like the biggest question there. We'll hold talks on disarming, but we can't be forced to give up guns. They told the Times of Israel on Sunday that the group will only agree to give its weapons through negotiations that result in the establishment of a Palestinian state. This cannot be done by force or ultimatums. Israel used all of its military might for 2 years to try and disarm Hamas, and it didn't work. The Hamas source said in a highly rare engagement with an Israeli media outlet. That is very rare, actually, isn't it? The ability of the US President Donald Trump's Gaza peace plan to advance past its first phase largely hinges on Hamas agreeing to disarm, with Israel pledging to resume the war if the Palestinian terror group doesn't agree to give up its weapons willingly. Readiness to discuss the issue may break from its long-standing insistence that disarmament demands are a non-starter. The steep conditions that Hamas source set for progress are sure to further complicate Washington's efforts to sustain the ceasefire in Gaza. hostage return. Yeah, the hostage, this disarmament deal is not like, this is not a, I don't know why Netanyahu is so confident in saying that, because this is not particularly different. Hamas are considering disarmament in the same way that Hassan considering going to Gaza. Birds of a feather, eh? Asked whether Hamas regrets agreeing to the October deal, especially as Israel has continued to a daily pursuit of Gazan fighters that it says are violating the ceasefire, the source acknowledged that the terms of the US plan and its fallout have been far from ideal. However, Hamas felt it offered the only way to end Israel's bombardment of Gaza, the source said, briefing the Times of Israel at a hotel in Doha, where much of the group's abroad leadership is based. The source claimed that there were no opportunities to reach an agreement earlier because Israel wasn't prepared to end the war. Okay, refuted by Trump. Okay. In exchange, Witkoff said that Hamas had agreed to disarm. The Hamas source flatly denied this. Wait, when's this? This was, Sharm el-Sheikh, okay. Leading up to the ceasefire. Yeah, Hamas, yeah, okay, I remember this. Said that the sides didn't even discuss such details, as the meeting mainly was used by the sides to build a personal rapport with one another. Witkoff said he managed to connect with the lead Hamas negotiator, Khalil al-Haya, over their shared grief in losing a child. Witkoff's to a drug overdose and Haya's to an Israeli airstrike, okay. Mistakes were made while restoring order post-ceasefire. The group says it is prepared to give up governing authority over the Strip to an independent committee of Palestinian technocrats. It has worked to crack down on dissident dissent in the 2 months since the ceasefire. This has included summarily executing dozens of its rivals and other intimidation tactics. While acknowledging that mistakes were made, the Hamas source says the group resorted to hard tactics to prevent chaos and restore order. He took particular issue with those he accused of collaborating with Israel, including rival clan leader Yasser Abu Shabab, who was killed last week in a Rafah area under Israeli control. The source did not claim Hamas was responsible, and reports have indicated Abu Shabab was killed in an internal... Oh, really? What? He wasn't even killed by Hamas. By his own guys. Fuck. You guys cannot give me JNS articles, please. I'm not looking like... Stop giving me fucking partisan fuck sources. What is that? Unless there's actually like a direct quote or something. December 7th, Khalid Mashal. Oh, is there a video of this?
حماية مشروع المقاومة وسلاح المقاومة. هذا حق شعبنا في الدفاع عن نفسه. المقاومة وسلاحها شرف الأمة وعزها.
Wait, what?
حماية مشروع المقاومة وسلاح المقاومة. هذا حق شعبنا في الدفاع عن نفسه. المقاومة وسلاحها شرف الأمة وعزها.
Okay, so that's less than a week ago. Right. Okay. I am not pinning up much hope for that. Whatever the fuck Netanyahu is smoking on that claim, I am not convinced. Sorry. If you're wondering about that whole claim of about that 6 or 10-year ceasefire, that's a very common thing that Hamas have referred to in the past. Even the same people, Khalid Mashal. You need to be careful because people will lie about this all the fucking time. Chris, in that talk with him, he mentioned Sarah Roy, one of those writers that he was referring to. She is actually an example of someone who just lies about this flagrantly when she says that Hamas accepted a two-state solution. But when you look at the references to them actually saying that, they're not saying a two-state solution. They say 67 borders. And this is Hamas being interviewed by a Palestinian daily in 2010. Michelle being interviewed, and they specifically ask, without any prompt, like, there is a difference between the 67 borders and the two-state solution, and it's because of the recognition of Israel, which is like whether we want two states now or whether we want two states as a springboard to fight for one state. And obviously with Hamas, like, they want the 67 borders, but they don't want it in exchange for anything. Like, they just want it so that they can have a better position to fight for the rest of it at a later date. So they say here, what is the difference between the 67 borders and a two-state solution? The two-state solution entails recognition of Israel. We and Hamas have a clear position, non-recognition of Israel, because the Palestinian situation differs from the Arab situation. When the Arab states speak of the peace process and a settlement, they speak of their readiness to recognize Israel after Israel withdraws from every last inch or square centimeter of its occupied land. The Palestinian situation is different. Simply offering us promises without guarantees, promises that have proven false and ineffective regarding withdrawal to the 67 borders, which practically represent 1/5 of Palestinian land, is unacceptable. It is unreasonable for the Palestinians to demand that recognition of Israel be a prerequisite for that. This is the. Don't think that when someone says that Hamas support a two-state solution, be really, really careful about what they're referring to, because Hamas will deny flat out at various points that they've ever accepted a two-state solution. They want the 1967 borders, which is different. They literally consider these different categories. Anyway, boom.
Gaza. Chancellor Merz is the first European leader to visit Israel since the official end of the war, and after the expected protestations of support, he nodded at festering disagreements.
We stood by you even as many others turned away.
They say that very clearly in their 2017 document. What, that 67 borders are not... They're not a two-state solution. Yeah, more or less. Yeah, they do say that.
From you during the Gaza war. But in the course of this long war, the conduct of the Israeli government also created a certain dilemma for us. Germany has to uphold Israel's security, but also the human rights and dignity that make up the core of our German constitution, especially after the Holocaust and the war.
For a German leader, the obligatory visit to the Yad Vashem Holocaust Memorial is a pilgrimage of guilt. But even as he tiptoed on the shards of history, the German Chancellor made it clear that an annexation of the West Bank was unacceptable, that a two-state solution was still the end goal, and that a return visit to Germany was very much off the cards for now. Well, earlier I spoke to the Israeli hostage negotiator Gershon Baskin, who joined me from Jerusalem. I began by asking him about Netanyahu's statement today that he believes that phase 2 of that deal was indeed imminent.
Well, I think what he's telling us is that President Trump and the United States is back on his back and pushing him into doing things that he didn't want to do, like ending the war.
This guy has so many interesting musical instruments. What the fuck? Cool.
Now moving into phase 2. Palestinians might not see it as such yet, but an international force in Gaza will prevent Israel from attacking Gaza again, as they've been doing every day since the ceasefire began.
Indeed they have, and we've reported that. But I just wondered, do we actually know at this stage what that international force is going to look like? Who are the soldiers going to be, and who will they answer to?
No, we don't know exactly. I have tried to suggest to the United States and the people working on this that perhaps a more defined mandate for this international force is necessary. The Americans will put it together. Trump has enough leverage on different countries to get it together. The big question is, are we going to see Turkish participation and Qatari participation that the Israelis are trying to veto? I'm not sure that the Israelis will have the power to veto it. A lot of unknowns, but they should become known in the next couple of weeks.
Do you think the Israeli government is serious about withdrawing and stopping its airstrikes in phase 2?
They're 100% not serious about it.
Shit. Hang on.
And this is why the United States is going to be continuing to lean on Israel and make sure that they do it, while Israel kicks and screams and tries to violate the ceasefire. There's no question in my mind that people in the Israeli government wanted the Israeli breaches of the ceasefire to lead to a renewal of the war, but the United States simply wouldn't let that happen. That was told to me directly by Mr. Witkoff, and I know that Kushner was here and Rubio was here and the vice president was here, and tomorrow The U.S. UN Security Council ambassador is going to be here. We call this BB sitting. Everyone is coming here to babysit BB.
Okay, so what you're telling me here,
this guy's on it. This guy's sharp.
Quite confidently, is that you don't think that Donald Trump has got bored of this whole process. He's still very much engaged through his surrogates.
Yeah, this is the most important thing he's ever done, perhaps the most important thing he will ever do, and he's not going to let it fall apart. And Witkoff and Kushner are on this every single day dealing with it, even when they have to deal with Ukraine and Russia and other issues. They are on the phone to Netanyahu every single day to make sure that Israel stays in line.
And do you think that the visit of the German chancellor and the kind of things that he said to Prime Minister...
Why would anyone want U.S. troops there? Yeah, they're not going to. And again, like, but that's and the thing with Bibi is that he really just, like, if he had his way, he would just finish the job against Hamas. Like, I don't think he gives a fuck about, I think he would just accept, like, we've got the hostages back. Okay, we're going to say disarm. They're not going to disarm. Let's just block the aid and fire and smack into the other half of Gaza, and that's it, done. Like, that's what he wants to do. I don't think he gives a fuck about the fatigue of his soldiers or the unpopularity of doing that in Israel or the international ramifications. That's what he wants to do, so he can build his little fucking security playground in the strip with all his corridors and all that shit. But obviously he has to acknowledge that, because I think he's still a bit more intelligent than the other, like, far-right people in his cabinet, that he knows that Israel can't just, like, take the rest of the world for granted. Like, they can understand that being unpopular in the rest of the world doesn't really translate to all that much physically. Like, given Russia and China abstained on the Trump peace plan, it's a Security Council approved plan. It's very, imagine telling someone, like, in 2024 that Trump is going to put forward a peace plan that involves Tony Blair and an international force of selected fucking technocrats with Trump at the helm governing Gaza and Hamas disarming, and that was going to get through the Security Council with Russia and China allowing it to pass. That would have been insane, but they have. Like, these leaders have just, like, they've lost interest in doing anything to help Hamas or to even really to help the PA, because the deal kind of, like, puts the PA in, like, out to dry as well. So all that said, Israel can't just take international opinion completely for granted. I think they are probably quite wary of tipping the balance. And I think the thing that they benefit from this period now is the rest of the world getting a little bit bored of the conflict. And I think that probably serves Israel really nicely from Netanyahu's perspective. Like, I don't think they want to risk tipping some of these governments into a position where they're actually going to put in policy that fucks Israel.
Netanyahu, are the partial rehabilitation of Prime Minister Netanyahu by the Europeans?
No, I don't think so. I think that everyone's waiting to see what's going to happen with this request for a pardon by Netanyahu. And Netanyahu's not eligible for a pardon by Israeli law because the law states that the president can pardon criminals. And Netanyahu has not been convicted yet. He's on trial, and he won't admit guilt. He won't apologize. He won't take responsibility. And we just hope that the president of Israel doesn't find some fudge clause and way of granting Netanyahu a pardon without him having to step out of public life forever.
And to be clear, these are the alleged crimes of corruption that he's being charged with, right? Just finally, exactly. I noticed that the German chancellor, when asked about a visit by the Israeli prime minister to Germany, said, no, that wasn't even on the cards. Explain why that is the case.
Well, it can't be on the cards because Germany is obligated by international law and by the Rome Treaty that if Netanyahu does come to Germany, he has to be arrested because there's a warrant for his arrest from the International Criminal Court in The Hague, and Germany is obligated to follow that warrant and arrest Netanyahu. So it's not a good idea for him to go to Germany.
Gershon Baskin, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
I don't think does he believe that Germany is actually going to do it? Why Syria might face another uprising. I don't want to think about that now. We'll complain about that when it happens. Big if. Wow, Chase. You won't believe what Chase just sent me of the Majority Report. He's always you don't believe what these people
one,
said.
But multiple investigations by the UN where they have said that there was systematic rape.
They didn't say systematic. They didn't say systematic. They said
They said a pattern. They said a pattern of sexual violence. Let's go. Huge difference. All right, fuck that. I don't care. Leave me alone. He's already invited there. Yeah, obviously. Fuck. I watched this on my stream already. Really, is Chase trying to get me to watch cringe that other people have these already watched? What an asshole. Fuck. Nathan R, thanks for the $4.99. Hope you have a great day, gang. Wow, thank you so much. 34 minutes on the goal, guys. 34 minutes. Wow. Yeah, I'm not really pinning up much hope for phase 2. I'm not pinning up much hope. I think it's going to go back to hostilities. That's my guess. Hopefully not, but I can only tell you what I think is more likely. Yo!
Is that I never created this show with the sole purpose of handing out awards. So little boy up there, I hope you feel really good about yourself, because this right here, this is a vehicle for togetherness. This is about building bridges, okay? That's what this is for. And if you're watching right now, maybe you're watching in a chat right now with your favorite streamer.
Yeah,
maybe it's in a
that's
Discord
me.
call with some friends. Maybe you took the time out of your day to come into this room and watch and be together with us today. And for one night out of the whole entire year, I am lucky enough that all of you let me bring you together.
Yes.
Because we are so quick to criticize online, and I hope a night like this reminds everyone to slow down and find time to support each other.
Nope. Tomorrow I'm gonna cover all the drama for the show. It's gonna be fucking great. I'm gonna be back to work tomorrow in the morning. I'm gonna wake up early.
Wow. Is she crying? She cries all the time, doesn't she? It's not difficult for me to find a clip of Cutie crying. I feel like it's just part of the week. It's expected. What? Phili, thanks for the tier 3 sub. Do you think you'd ever do a streamed D&D campaign? No. Huh. There's a 9mm bullet lodged in my kitchen now. I can't say I'm surprised this happened after the wave of doxing and threats made against us. Huh, that's in 2022. Did he ever show proof of that? Did he ever show proof of that? Is it yours or one of an intruder? Oh, God. Kevlar beanie. He's such a lying fuck. Such a lying bastard. You assume he shot at a raccoon and missed. Fucking hell, it's so pathetic. God. The way that he is able to do it with so little shame is just, with no shame at all, is very, it's very enviable. God. Hmm. 22,000. Okay, Jesus. Got some Hexeth news, always.
A few weeks ago, that wouldn't have been a newsworthy thing to say, but now for obvious reasons it is. And this time, Hegseth is taking direct aim at President Trump specifically. This was during the 2016 campaign. Hegseth questioning Trump's toughness and questioning whether Trump would even have the United States military's back.
It's typical Trump. All bluster, very little substance. He talks a tough game, but then when pressed on it, he's an armchair tough guy. I hate to say it, but this is a guy who said that John McCain is not a war hero, yet he sought his own 5 military deferments because he says big, blustery things that people want to hear, but he goes way too far. And then when the military says, we won't follow illegal orders like torture or killing families, which is not loosening the rules of engagement, he suddenly realizes, wait, I might actually be commander-in-chief.
It's pretty incredible, right? I mean, because that same Pete Hegseth tonight is accusing 6 Democratic members of Congress of returning their country for warning troops not to obey unlawful orders. That includes Senator Mark Kelly. Hegseth, of course, has threatened to court-martial Kelly over that video. Out front now is K-File's Andrew Kaczynski. And Andrew, it is a remarkable video. I mean, especially in the context of just all the things that we are hearing and seeing Pete Hegseth say. To imagine that one person could have been just diametrically different things is really some real cognitive dissonance there. What is the context for that video?
Yeah, and well, you also nailed it in your intro saying like this wouldn't have been a big deal like a few weeks ago until this happened. But to understand this video, you do have to go back to 2016. Donald Trump was making a series of very controversial national security promises when running for president that include killing the families of terrorists, expanding the use of torture. Listen to how he responded to a question at a GOP debate on just that.
Experts have said that when you ask the U.S. military to carry out some of your campaign promises, specifically targeting terrorist families and also the use of interrogation methods more extreme than waterboarding, the military will refuse because they've been trained to turn down and refuse illegal orders. So what would you do as commander-in-chief if the U.S. military refused to carry out those orders?
They won't refuse. They're not going to refuse me. Believe me. I'm a leader. I'm a leader. I've always been a leader. I've never had any problem leading
Look at him.
people.
He's so energetic. 2016 Trump, pre-dementia Trump. Look how much pep he has.
If I say do it, they're going to do it. That's what leadership is all about.
Now, Hegseth and his other colleagues at Fox were harshly critical of Trump's comments, which he did end up walking back, by the way, saying you wouldn't tell the military to disobey unlawful orders. But listen to more of what Hegseth and them were saying about him.
Here's the problem with Trump. He says, go ahead and kill the families. Go ahead and torture. Go ahead and go further than waterboarding. What happens when people follow those orders or don't follow them? It's not clear that Donald Trump will have their back. Donald Trump is oftentimes about Donald Trump. And so if you're not changing the law and you're just saying it, you create even more ambiguity.
Now, Hegseth repeated similar comments multiple times, repeatedly saying that troops would refuse illegal orders. He singled out Trump, warning that he could even put service members in legal jeopardy and create issues if troops didn't follow those orders. And that key quote above there is he said Trump might not have the military's back when that happened. Take a listen to all the other times we found of him saying that.
I got some response from vets on that saying you're not just going to follow that order if it's unlawful.
The military's not even going to follow his orders.
The military's not going to follow illegal orders. And so the Trump campaign was forced to change their position and say, we're going to try to change the law so that the military can operate within the law. That's a tall order also.
And again, Aaron, this all comes back to those Trump comments.
What a seditious, punishable by death, all the electric chairs bastard. What the fuck?
About members of Congress and to Hegseth's own comments, because in essence, this is exactly what Democratic members said. It's the core idea is the same, that service members cannot carry out unlawful orders.
It's just really amazing. I mean, the nuance of what he said there to Maria, that the military is not going to follow illegal orders. So the campaign was forced to say, well, we're going to try to change the law then. I mean, just when you put that in context of what's happening now with these boat strikes, it's really stunning. I know you've reached out to the White House and to the Pentagon for responses on all of this very deep reservoir of Pete Hegseth commentary. What did they say?
So we did not hear back this time from the Pentagon. We did hear back from the White House. This is what they told us. As he said last week, the military already has clear procedures for handling unlawful orders, but seditious Democrats injected ambiguity and failed to provide a single example because all of President Trump's actions have been lawful. Instead, these lawmakers sow doubt in a clear chain of command, which is reckless, dangerous, and deeply irresponsible for an elected official. Aaron, so it's going to be interesting. We've seen Hegseth. There was a story about Pam Bondi today as well, who also said the military can't follow illegal orders. So it'll be interesting to see where all this goes.
Well, it certainly will. And of course, in the context of what's lawful and what isn't lawful is obviously a matter of heated debate. Many, obviously, in the conservative sphere, George Will and others would beg to differ with her analysis. Thank you very much. K-File and Hegseth is now calling for an inquiry into what he's calling the seditious six. That includes Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander and Senator Mark Kelly, after they posted this video reminding American troops of what Hegseth was talking about, which is that they are duty-bound to...
You stand accused of saying things that I also said about the same person.
Refuse unlawful orders. Out front now, Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander of New Hampshire. She's a member of the House Armed Services Committee as well, and also a former intelligence officer in the U.S. Navy Reserve. So I really appreciate your time. Congresswoman, let's just start here with Andrew Kaczynski's incredible reporting here. What's your response tonight to what you just heard there from Pete Hegseth?
Well, I have no earthly idea what has happened to this man who clearly understood this cornerstone principle of American law. And Aaron, I got to say,
that's the thing as well, like, because people will try to say things like, oh, yeah, can't people change their minds? Well, yeah, they can, but you probably need to be changing your mind on something that, for one, is a contentious thing that you said in the first place. And two, there probably needs to be a tangible reason why you would change your mind, right? The idea that soldiers should and do and are likely to disobey unlawful orders it would take a lot of explaining and a lot of rationale to get you away from that position to the opposite, right? To just like, it's seditious to say that, right? There's no explanation other than just like fucking blind loyalty to Trump.
Full statement of law that we made, and it's an important one to make in this moment. It's the same basic principle that we saw Secretary Hegseth repeat again and again before he took on this important role. It's the same basic principle that Attorney General Pam Bondi stated in a brief to the United States Supreme Court. It's the same principle that we heard Justice Samuel Alito repeat in an oral argument at the Supreme Court last year. This is an important and basic principle of law, and that our saying it unglued this president to such a degree, I think, really tells us a lot about how he thinks about the basic commitment to the rule of law.
Congresswoman, I also want to ask you about the September 2nd strike, strikes, I should say, right? The follow-up strike that is at the center right now of the dispute, right? There were two strikes on the alleged drug boat. Trump today backtracked and said that he never actually said that the second strike video should be released. In fact, he now says, he'll let Pete Hegseth decide if that video comes out. Here's what he said today.
You said you would have no problem with releasing the full video of that strike on September 2nd.
What the fuck has happened to his face? Is he jaundiced? What's going on? Well, his eyes aren't yellow, so Is there like a flipped jaundice where your eyes stay fine but your face goes yellow? What the fuck is that? What am I looking at? That's not lighting. Is it? I guess his suit looks a little bit like tinted. He looks like he looks like he's in Mexico in Breaking Bad. By the way, I don't think some people don't appreciate just how fucking yellow they made Mexico in Breaking Bad. If you watch it back and just pay more attention to it, it's unbelievable how fucking yellow they made this country. It's when you have a shot of the sky. Mexico filter was pure key. Dude, where is it where you can see the sky? Here, I guess. This is.
Don Eladio, esta nueva metanfetamina.
You want to get like a proper look how yellow it is. When you have a shot of the sky, look at it. Come on. Wait, why is it not predicting the right fucking spot? I just want a shot of the sky, dick. Any minute now, it's gonna give me a shot of the sky. A clean, there we go, I'll do. Dude, it's like, it's so over the top. Can you spot the difference? Can you spot the difference?
Than the highest ever.
Mate, it's like 1-to-1 almost. Venus is less yellow. Why is Venus less yellow? What's that simulator where they're like, let's fall into a planet with a special suit? Let's go. It's still less fucking yellow. Mate. Fuck me, man. Unbelievable.
The coast of Venezuela. Secretary Hegseth now says.
You said that. I didn't say that. This is ABC fake news.
You said that you would have no problem releasing the full bit. Okay, well, Secretary Hegseth.
No, whatever Hegseth wants to do is okay with me.
He now says it's under review. Are you ordering the
How long have you had the Venus less yellow joke in your mind? Literally, I just noticed it now. I've probably made the Venus joke before, but what's this? Is this a good shot of the sky? Chickens clucking. Mike feeding chicken. It's, bro, it's so freakishly fucking yellow. God.
To release that full video.
Whatever he decides is okay with me. You are an obnoxious, terrible reporter.
Okay, so that's what he just said. Let's just play what he said a few days ago, 5 days ago, actually, Congresswoman, on this very same topic.
I don't know what they have, but whatever they have, we'd certainly release. No problem.
So why do you think he about-faced so quickly and blatantly that 5 days separate those two statements?
Look, unfortunately, this is a president who has called the affordability crisis, the cost crisis that is touching the lives of people across my home state of New Hampshire, across our country. He's called this a con job. He said it's a hoax. So, look, this fits into a pattern of behavior that is completely unbecoming of the president of the United States. Why did he change his mind? Look, obviously they don't want the American people to see what is in this video, but I think it's incredibly important as a member of the House Armed Services Committee. I think it's incredibly important that we have transparency and that we get to the bottom of the facts of what happened on September 2nd, because there are a lot of questions that have not yet been answered, and we will be relentless on a bipartisan basis in getting those answers. That's exactly what we've seen in the National Defense Authorization Act, which has a specific provision about getting this video released.
God damn. That'll be interesting. Thought this was Alyssa Slotkin. No, I don't think so. Do I want to do, there's like some fucking British migration debate special on Question Time that might be good. Might be important. Oh, God. I need to go to the bathroom. 1 minute. To be able to fully cave to the rightist, so that's his weakness. He is currently stuck in an awkward place. With the right moves, he can be easily crushed. Oh, God. I'm still a thorn in their side. The final word on this. Nonsense are the biggest enemy, and yes, they rule us. Yes, they are at large. Yes, they are still hurting children, and yes, they are getting away with it. final word. Now move on. He didn't take his own advice. Holy fuck. I'm going to start banning everyone who didn't listen. Fuck. Okay. Got it. All right. Imperialism's really bad when white people do it, but China is perfectly justified. Taiwan, South China Sea. The Russian invasion of Ukraine is actually very understandable when you consider the and oh no, the Holodomor, yeah, like, well, technically. Oh God. And also, everyone who agrees with me on most things, you're just not... Two choices. If you think you can handle the most toxic streamer on Twitch.com, you can stay. Don't worry about copyright, it's fine. Don't worry. We have solutions. I watched a Vosh reaction to a Loner video from 4 years ago, and the top comment is the surf saying Lonerbox is helping us become the best leftists. Yep. The thing is that they like you when you're giving credibility to things that they already believe. That's how that goes. You can send me that in Discord if you want. That might be funny to look at.
Government of cowards.
Actually, I think I know which one you're talking about. Not that one. This one, eh? Cute. All right.
Because you won't tell people the truth about migration.
You frequently cry, stop the boats, smash the gangs, one in, one out. Nobody's listening anymore. I don't believe you. What are you really going to do? Because whatever has been done so far amounts to nothing.
Right, well, that is something of a cri de coeur from you, Paul, I would say. Mike.
Paul, it's a good question, and I don't know whether I've knocked on your door, but I've knocked on many doors in the constituency. I've have many of my colleagues around the country, and we understand fully the strength of feeling that we need to bring order and control back into the immigration system, and we're taking this seriously, and I, as the immigration minister, do too. We've made some progress. We've deported and removed nearly 50,000, and immigration working rates are now up to the highest they've been in British history. But we know we've got to go further, and you would have seen over the last few weeks some of that. So we're making it less attractive for people to come here, easier to deport people, which is really important. We're bringing in counter-terror powers to take on the smuggling gangs. That's just this week. And also we're looking at all solutions, so also those safe and legal routes to ensure that as a compassionate country, we are providing that help to people who are fleeing war and persecution. For me, we have to deal with this issue because we need to unite. And you'll hear many opinions here tonight. You'll hear open borders and chaos, and that will feed division. You'll hear measures that are too hard, that punish and that close the doors completely. Again, that feeds division. We want to unite around this so that as a country we can move on and be the fantastic country that we are. I'm a true patriot and I really mean that, and a part of that is bringing that order and control back to the system.
Paul, what do you think of that?
Yeah, I like the idea of unite. Could we all unite in this problem that we have? Could there be a cross-party coming together to solve the problem rather than just, it's your fault, it's my fault, it's your fault?
Well, listen, this could be a first. Somehow, I'm not sure that's going to happen, Paul, but let's see. Zia, what's your answer to Paul?
Well, look, let's just look at what the Labour government has done. Let's look at what the Labour government has done. Over 70,000 people have arrived in the United Kingdom illegally since Labour came to power, 50,000 in the last 12 months. That is up 40% year on year relative to the Tory record, which was already a disaster. And notice the very smart sleight of hand that the immigration minister from Labour uses when he talks about 50,000 deportations and removals. Shall we talk about those 50,000, Mike?
Go for it. This is the UKIP ex-Muslim chairman. Well, no, ex-chairman who is still a Muslim. Yeah, this guy.
Very tiny fraction of those are actual deportations, i.e. enforced
That's why I
removals.
said removals. That's why I said
so
removals.
Chris admitted the first debate he had with you was embarrassing. Did he? When? Not to me. Wow, clips, or it didn't happen.
Except then that over half of those 50,000 are what's known by the Home Office as other verified returns, which means the government literally didn't even know they were leaving until after they had left. Okay, do you know what percentage? Okay, Mike, genuine question. Mike, genuine question.
Go.
What percentage of the people who have come here illegally under Labour have been deported?
Look, what's really important...
No, please answer my question.
What's really important
what
is
percentage of those 70,000 have been deported?
50,000 have been deported since we came to power.
What percentage of the 70,000 who have come here illegally?
You can do the
I'll
maths
tell you
of
the answer.
70,000
Mike is pretending to not know or actually doesn't know. The answer is 27. The answer is 2,700 people. Just 4% of the people who have arrived here illegally under Keir Starmer's awful government have been deported. That
what percentage of them passed their asylum claims again? Isn't it like the overwhelming majority, dipshit? What, do you want to just deport every single one of them, even if they're eligible for asylum, you fucking retard? Like, yeah, okay, wow. God, they're so they come illegally. Meanwhile, also, our asylum laws say that you have to be in the country to claim asylum.
96% are still here, so it's no coincidence that these people are streaming across the channel on a daily basis. Britain is a soft touch, and what Labour has done is pour gasoline on a fire that the Tories created. It is totally unfair on British people,
both sides.
and by the way, I include legal migrants within that equation. It is totally unfair. People are furious about it, and for you to sit here and gaslight people with fake numbers, which the Home Office does, Shabana Mahmood does, time and again, I think is totally unacceptable and insulting to British people's intelligence.
Do you want to answer that briefly before I come?
I will be brief on this. Look, we're not a soft touch, and you've seen from the sweeping reforms to the system over the last few weeks is the largest since the Second World War. When it comes to the number of deportations and removal, what Zia is doing there is he's splitting hairs, and the reason he's doing that is he understands fully that it takes time to process a claim. We've increased that by 50% so that it's quicker, so we can remove people who shouldn't be here and help those that need it.
Lots of hands up. Let's hear from someone. The man in the blue sweater, right? Yes, there.
Evening, Mike. Yes, you're my MP. I hate to say this, but you're talking utter rubbish. Since the 18th of September, your one in, one out scheme has only seen the removal of 153 people to date. I've watched your video where you've been in your masquerading NCA high-vis while all the fools are zooming around the English Channel to dramatic Dan Buster's music. It's all theatrical nonsense, because not anywhere in that video did you say any numbers, nothing. I don't believe Labour, and I think this one in, one out scheme needs to go under the carpet with the rest of the stuff.
Simple as.
This is the man in the front here in the white shirt.
Yeah, I agree. The only thing that stops the boats is the weather. Because if it's weather it is now, they won't come over. And that's the only reason it would stop the boats. All this about, we're going to stop the boats,
it doesn't work, as far as you're concerned. All right, let me hear one person. The man in the middle in the tech shirt with the glasses.
That guy fucking... Damn. What is this, the Streamer Awards? That guy fucking bombed.
Yeah, I just want to put
He bombed like it was a fucking Venezuelan drug boat.
Language we use is really dehumanising for people. We're just saying these statistics. Like, people are not statistics. If we look where they're actually coming from, they're war zones. Like, I know
what was France a war zone?
there needs to be some sort of control, but, you know, they're going all over the place.
They're coming from France, sir.
Yeah, but they're people. And if we look in our history, they're countries which we've had a link to. So we're cutting foreign aid. What's that going to do? You're now creating a bigger problem. I'm not saying that all of our taxes need to go on foreign aid, but we need to look at the decisions we're making. We're just slapping holes all over the place with our taxes and going, oh, let's plug this one and another one opens. The language we use is so important towards human beings.
He's not even chairman of Reform anymore. No, he's not. It's funny because if people knew more about Reform, they'd probably know that the argument of him being a chairman of Reform actually goes against Reform, because when he was chairman of Reform, a lot of Reform voters were up in arms about it, because I was at Lawrence Fox saying, like, I want to vote for Reform, but we can't when they have a Mohammedan at the fucking at the helm. There were Reform voters literally saying that they didn't want to vote. They couldn't vote for Reform until they changed their chairman. Like, Zia Yusuf gotten a lot of shit for being the chairman.
This is exactly right.
Because he's not only an open practicing Muslim, he's also a Muslim who claims that the majority of British Muslims are patriots, British patriots. And people don't like hearing that. Like, Reform voters don't like that. They don't believe that.
And it's important to remember we're talking about people, and this is personal to me, and I know it'll be personal to many people watching this.
This guy is our new left-wing fucking lightning rod, by the way. Zach Polanski, leader of the Green Party. He became leader, and then Green Party shot up from like 5% to 16, 17% of the polls. He's basically just completely fucking gobbled up all of the support that would have otherwise went to your party with Sultana and Corbyn. And his surge is probably the reason that there's been such a scarcity mentality from those guys. And that's probably why they were so fucking venomous towards each other. Because I don't think they knew how to handle this guy just like bringing the Green Party to power. He's quite good at dealing with social media and the public. And obviously he's consolidated the left-wing vote in the UK like really, really fast.
My great-grandparents lived in Latvia. They're Jewish, and we fled because of pogroms. We ended up in Ukraine. We fled again, more pogroms. Then in Nazi-occupied Poland, then fled again.
Should have gone to Israel, retard. I'm joking.
And this is what people have done throughout history. They have fled because they've moved because of war or persecution, or they've moved because of people they love or that they want to travel.
And do you think there should be any limits on those numbers? Judging from your manifesto, you don't.
Well, I think we need to be really clear about the numbers. This year, 800,000 people have arrived in this country. 400,000 of them have come to study. 300,000 of them have come to work and are a net contribution to our tax system.
Yes, but that's answering a different question.
Well, I'm just finishing.
I'm asking you, Zach,
but that's not the question about the votes.
Because judging from what the Green...
Votes are definitely not a net contribution. I don't think people believe that, right? Like, immigrants are, asylum seekers are not supposed, they're not supposed to be, they're not supposed to be a net contributor. They're supposed to be something that a state does because it's the right thing to do, to stop the world being fucking filled to the brim with displaced people who don't have any future.
Say, though quite often you shy away from it, saying it in public, but what is written down is that you believe in a world without borders, therefore anyone who wants to come should be able to come. Is that correct?
So what's important to know is that when we talk about those numbers, we're talking about a policy for a sustainable society.
Okay, you haven't actually answered that.
I'm answering you right now. This is about what it looks like in the future. Yes, in an ideal world, that is the policy I would want. I recognise, though, we are not in an ideal world. We're in a world where the world is in turmoil. We know that we have huge issues in our country. But the issues with the National Health Service, the issues with the lack of council homes, the issues with the society feeling broken are not the issues of migrants or someone who is clinging to a small boat. They are the issues of 14 years of Conservative austerity, continued by a Labour government who say this is an island of strangers, but actually, you're a government of cowards because you won't tell people the truth about migration. And the truth about migration, it is a positive thing for this country. We need migration. We need fair and managed migration. And that's what will change this conversation.
Woman there.
Hello there. I'd just like to ask, it's mainly men coming over. What happens to their families? What's leaving the families behind? Don't you think that's strange that it's mainly men? Can you tell me how many children and women?
Isn't that very strange?
We have some men in the audience who came over on small boats and are former asylum seekers.
We've never heard from these military-aged men before. That's crazy. Well, good move, BBC.
Since you mentioned that, let's hear from one of them. So, Ashraf, where are you sitting? Ashraf, there you are. Can you just, so you came over from Afghanistan on a small boat in the last 4 or 5 years, I think.
Yes, I come from Afghanistan.
So was the UK where you wanted to claim asylum, and did you try and claim asylum in other countries on the way?
I applied for asylum. I was a refugee and I passed many interviews in different countries.
So tell us which country did you try to claim asylum in?
My first interview was in Turkey, and the second one in Macedonia, in Serbia, in Romania, Austria, and recently in Germany, but that ain't in here.
So you applied for asylum in all those countries, and they all turned you down?
These countries just reject me, and they didn't accept me.
So what do you say to the woman here who says, why is it the men that are coming, and what about their families?
It's a dangerous journey, bro, my guess.
Why did you come on your own, and what about the fact that so many men are coming?
Everybody knows my country is not safe for us. We have a war, about 15 years we are living in the war. Because of that, we come here, and I just want to leave, and because of that I come here.
So Zia, when you hear a story like that, for example, do you think that
his age looks to be a fighter? That's exactly what she's thinking.
Someone like Ashraf, despite the fact he's fleeing a war, and there are many wars around the country, in fact, can't take everybody, they shouldn't be able to come?
Yeah, well, I don't know enough about that particular individual story, so
no,
I'll comment more broadly.
But in terms of the principle,
I think in terms of broad strokes, let me be clear. If you're entering a war zone, it's generally men first. If you're fleeing a war zone, it's generally women and children first. And the vast majority of the people coming to this country via the English Channel illegally are men. That is a statistical fact. And when people talk about language, I don't know what language people are objecting to. I'm dealing with statistics.
This guy is such a disgusting piece of shit, man. Like, it's so fucking he didn't answer the question, unfortunately, but I don't know why she didn't get him to elaborate. The question should be like, well, like, where is your family? Like, why didn't they come with you? And the obvious answer is going to be that that's a dangerous journey. The Channel is a dangerous journey. What usually happens is that families will stay in a place where there can either be where there's usually like a refugee camp or some kind of like safe area where they can be. And then the men will go to try and claim asylum, and then they can claim family reunification afterwards, so that they can send for the family through like a fucking safer route, like a plane. Like that's usually that's the attempt. It's to start the process.
With data, and I think that's a sensible way to formulate policy. And I think we should use language clearly. I think we should use language accurately and
but just to be specific, Zia, because the reform policy is to deport all illegal immigrants in the UK within 5 years. So that would be, I mean, these are real people.
Where are you sending that guy to, right?
That would be someone like you. And that's what you're saying, right?
If you are in this country illegally, let me be crystal clear. If Nigel Farage is our next Prime Minister, and that's obviously what we're working to deliver, if you're in this country illegally, you will be deported back to the country from which you came. Over 170,000 people have arrived in this country illegally since 2018. Most of that work was done by the Tories, sadly, and that is more people than arrived on the beaches of Normandy on D-Day. I have used the word invasion before, and people might
he is a disgusting piece of shit, really. Did they arrive with the same military technology that they did in Normandy? Did they all have a gun? Did they all come on a fucking battleship, on a fucking what the fuck, man? Oh god, I hate him so much. Ugh! This fucking party, man. This absolute fucking human wrecking ball.
To that term, but the dictionary definition of an invasion is an unwanted...
It's a military, you fucking retard.
...incursion into a space of land. And I don't know what to describe it. 170,000 people arriving. By the way, what are the countries from which they are coming? They're coming from Syria, they're coming from Afghanistan, they're coming from Iraq, they are coming from Iran. Not countries that have a track record of having Britain's interests at heart.
Okay, all right.
The British state exists...
Well, they're fleeing those countries, you fucking moron. Like what?
Yeah, I need to hear from the rest of the panel. Hang on. Daisy.
People who flee the Taliban are the same as the Taliban, true? Hey, wow, got him.
Be really clear, A reform government wouldn't just be throwing out people who have arrived here through irregular routes. They want to rip up indefinite leave to remain. People who have come to
it's like a fucking imagine like fucking German Jews come to fucking the UK and they're like, well, they've come from Germany and that doesn't really have Britain's best interests at heart. Like fucking hell.
Country who have earned their right to be here, who are granted leave to stay in this country. They want to throw out all of those people, ripping apart families, bringing chaos into our economy and our sector, and doing something which I believe fundamentally is really un-British. Now, on the question about men coming here, I mean, this is just a straightforward fact. The reason why men often arrive in the UK on
What is this? Why are you giving me these timestamps?
What was the catalyst? Just the last one. I don't think it was really what I'd hoped it would have been. So yeah. Trust, I don't want to use something with 2 T's. I want to start with something beginning with
Clever.
T. Tweak. That's a good one.
Tweaking.
Ooh.
Ooh. 2 timestamps.
The mic definitely helps a lot. That is actually true. And I think that, like, look, someone said, oh, it's not productive, but definitely from an angle of not looking like a fucking idiot like last time, I think that was a much better sort of thing to do, and also to just make clear my points and why, like, look, I think I kind of made very clear as to why the 2-state solution is ridiculous and doesn't work. Also, guess what, you guys love me, so you should now all go watch the next episode of
Self-awareness, that's crazy. He's still young.
their own, is because the journey is just too dangerous for women and children.
Remember when you're young, you do kind of think like all of these, there's a tendency for like people who are quite young to just think like the revolution is always around the corner. It doesn't really help that he's getting fucking educated by people like Ilan Pape, who just is such a grifting fuck going around all of these fucking podcasts. Like every time I see Pape in my feed, it's like he's just gone onto some other Democracy Now! Or whatever to tell them about how the end of Israel is inevitable. Like it's just around the corner. Israel's in decline. They're in collapse. They're gonna that Jewish state's gonna be done any fucking day now. Meanwhile, he's been saying this all the way through. Gaza gets fucking flattened. 90% of the buildings destroyed, and he's like, yeah, any day now, Israel, it's done, man. Fucked. Yeah, man. If you're like a young dude, like you're gonna get fucking. That's a lot of. It's a lot of reinforcement.
When women and children go on that journey, when they're leaving a place of war and persecution, they can be subject to rape, kidnap, trafficking and slavery, and therefore often men come in advance in order the family can follow them, and that's documented by migration groups. But if I could just finish and come to the question that Paul asked right at the very beginning. I think, Paul, your question tapped into this enormous frustration that British people have on this issue. They've heard slogans. There's been, caps, migration caps that have never been met. There are so many broken promises. And I think the British people, the silent majority of British people, are crying out for politicians to come up with practical solutions.
Well, let's talk about some of your solutions, Daisy. So one of yours is to set up these big Nightingale centres to clear the backlog and double the number of caseworkers from 2,000 to 4,000 in 6 months. How are you going to do that in 6 months?
Well, there are lots of caseworkers.
Is that remotely realistic?
I think it is. There are lots of caseworkers at the Home Office, and many of them have left because of the work pressure.
So you're going to find another 2,000 in 6 months?
I think there are many people who have left that service who you could bring back to help run this. But look, realistically, what we have to do, rather than just moving people around from hotels to, army centres or wherever it might be, we have got to drive down the backlog. And the way to do that is to rapidly expand the number of caseworkers who can process these applications quickly. So if we recruit these extra caseworkers, get the backlog down, we should then be in a position to stop using hotels in a matter of months. But at the same time, we need safe and legal routes for those who genuinely are fleeing war and persecution, so they can come here in a managed and compassionate way.
All wars? I mean, there are wars going on. I mean, we could list them. Yemen, Myanmar, Ethiopia, Sudan. I mean, I could go on. You want safe and legal routes for all those areas?
Let's be clear, the vast majority of people leaving those wars go to all sorts of different countries.
They go to neighbouring countries.
Anywhere near as many as a number of other countries.
No, I appreciate that. Usually they go to the country nearest them. But are you saying that we should accept people from all conflict
I think
areas?
we need to have international agreements so that every single country is pulling their weight on this issue, and that's something that is missing at the moment. But the one last thing I also wanted to say was about...
It's the only tangible solution to refugee problems. Like, the only tangible solution is for countries to agree on pulling an acceptable level of weight for each country and sharing the load. Like, that's the only way you can do it. Otherwise, you're just going to have like this thing we have now where they just end up in the neighboring country and then they get stuck there because that country is usually too poor or fucking shit to process any of them, or there's too much bigotry or too much fucking demographic issues or whatever. And the rest of the world is just like, not my problem. Apart from when a bunch of fucking refugees get recruited in camps to join ISIS, and then we're like, oh no, how could this have possibly happened?
The right to work. At the moment, because we have people here and it's taking so long to process their claim, they are falling into the clutches of the very criminal gangs that are exploiting this problem. To get them out of the clutches of the criminal gangs, let's give them the right to work. If their claim isn't processed within 3 months, they can then earn their way and we can take money out of the hands of the criminals.
All right, Kieran, you're sitting here very patient. I'm going to come to you. So a little bit more from our audience. Yes, the man there, you've got a scarf around your neck, I think. I can't quite see. Yes.
With the OECD recently releasing a report that says that the government's stringent immigration policies are likely to act as a brake on growth, have the government just scored a spectacular own goal?
All right, well, listen, we'll come to that. Let me hear another point here. Yes, man here at the front in the green top.
Are there already international agreements on asylum seekers? Yeah, but no one follows them.
So obviously we don't take as many asylum seekers as many other countries. Countries like Turkey take in so many more than us. Why do we keep on complaining that this is such a big issue when we take in just a small percentage of these people?
Kieran?
Can I just pick up on the original question from Paul? Because you mentioned one of the slogans that my party had, and we've been in power for 14 years, and we absolutely have got to take a share of the blame for people's cynicism about politicians' rhetoric on this issue. I absolutely accept that. Absolutely, I think, as Z has quite effectively laid out, Labour are not delivering on this issue and things have got a lot worse. But I just have, Mike,
open borders.
Let people speak. So I can criticise Labour. Actually, I think you probably don't want to hear that much from a Conservative politician. I know when I say that to people, they say, well, you're in charge and, you didn't fix it. So what I'm really focused on is what is our genuine, concrete plan that I think does represent an overhaul in how we deal with these issues. For example, taking us out of the European Court of Human Rights, I think is absolutely fundamental to allow us to take back control of our borders. No. Too many things that we would like to do, we won't be able to do. For example, if we wanted to send someone back to a country who shouldn't have come here and they don't want to leave, they can say that because the healthcare in the country that we're sending them to isn't good enough, we can't do that. That was clearly never, it's not nonsense, absolutely true. Article 3 claims that originally were intended to prevent people from suffering from torture and inhumane treatment are now used to say that if you send me to a country where I can't access the healthcare that I need, that counts as inhumane treatment. That's one example.
Years, the ECHR has only
if I can just finish, Daisy, and then the second point is that actually I think because there is such a level of cynicism about governments around this issue, our policy is to say that MPs directly should be voting on what that cap on migration looks like so that you're directly in control. In terms of some of the other ideas that the panel have talked about, Fiona, I think you picked up the key point. If you have safe and legal routes, so if anyone that wants to come to this country can come to this country, around the world there are about 100 million people living in displacement, internally or externally. There are 8 million people that want refugee status.
We haven't got 8 million people coming to the UK.
It's the wrong thing to do to pick. It's the wrong thing to do to pick someone who's got absolutely potentially a valid claim and say that we shouldn't bring in controls because there are some people with legitimate claims. We cannot possibly take all the legitimate claims.
All right, well, listen, let's hear.
So you have to then have control and choose who it is that you want to come over to the country. And they never have answers on that problem.
So but again, you'll never say what the actual control number is. Stupid. 50,000 apparently too much, though. Way too much. Miles. I mean, it's fucking... I don't think I want to watch Hutch debating Pisco on Ethan drama. I'll probably tap out at the they sent skulls. Fuck me. Although I think I'm going on Live and Learn next week, potentially.
Welcome, everybody.
Where did they even do it? Did they argue about this on Live and Learn or was it on Hutch's stream? Fuck that. No. I'm not even feeling a long stream today. I'm quite tired. Oh, shit. Also, wait. That goal ended. It was on Live and Learn last night. Okay. It was like a 10-minute seg. Okay, I'll do 10-minute. Why not?
Not far ahead, but at least in the
Silk Song, no.
Welcome everybody.
I mean, fuck it. Let's just unpack it now. Just, like, why not? What?
Let's start off. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm not sure. Yeah, your video looks a little grainy, so I'm not
sure.
Probably not. I would say probably most of it was not sincere. Yeah.
And to just a context,
so you would agree, therefore, that
was this it?
Well, I don't know. There's no like cause of action for malicious intent, and so this kind of
stating their intention to siphon views with.
Oh, this is it. Okay.
I'm not trying to interrupt you.
Is there a lag for me, or is there a lag for you?
It's for Pisco because I'm hearing you in real time.
Okay. All right. I'm not sure. Yeah, your video looks a little grainy, so I'm not sure if it's a connection thing, but no, Ethan Klein. So, I mean, most people probably know of this drama. He decided that he was going to pursue litigation against Casey Tron, Denims, and Frogan for copyright infringement. He did a content
This is when you rated and you thought the vibe was so weird. Oh, no. Ew, thanks for the $9.99. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your donos. We have a new goal, guys. I'm going to go soon as well. I'm just not feeling it today. Oh, I got other things I want to do. I want to play guitar. Not on stream. I want to do practice. WoW Classic in January. Yeah, probably.
Registered it as a copyright. I'm not sure how that process goes. And then the through line between those three was that they were pretty openly malicious when they were watching the content. They were basically stating their intention to siphon views, which, you know, I'm not going to pretend like I know anything about the law. Pisco, why don't you like break down how, I mean, are you familiar with that kind of law or litigation? Do you feel like Ethan Klein has a pretty sound case of malicious intent?
Well, I don't know. There's no like cause of action for malicious intent. And so this kind of like malicious intent thing is just a social thing that people have been bringing up. I don't understand it to be like grounded in any like legal concept of malicious intent or anything like that.
Because it's strict liability. Is that what you call it? When it doesn't matter what your intent is, you've stolen the content regardless.
So it's not a cause of action for malicious intent, but he has a strong claim for copyright infringement. And I've always maintained that. What my position is, which I don't think is nitpicking, is that he's like lying about why he sued. And now I think that he's lying about the settlement and about what Casey Tron said. And specifically, I think he's lying. Well, I'll ask you, do you think that the Casey Tron apology, did you watch it, Hutch?
Yes, I did.
Do you think it was sincere?
No, but
probably
true.
not. I would say
Whole
probably
facts.
most of it was not sincere. Yeah.
And to just a context,
so you would agree,
like
therefore, that
like a forced apology or like a contractually obligated apology to.
I love how they have a mixed. They have like all of their chats folded up into one. It's so funny,
right?
That's what's happening, right? It's just that's all. Their chats.
Like a settlement apology, like that was negotiated by the parties, and I'm sure the wording was chosen and crafted and negotiated, just like all the other terms of the contract, which is, you know, settlement is a contract.
Yeah. My opinion on this.
So my question is like, wait. Can I ask what I was going to ask?
Sure. Yeah.
Ethan said it was a very sincere apology and that everyone should leave her alone because of how sincere the apology was. You think that that's a lie?
I think he's being petty, and I think it's for entertainment.
Is he? So he's lying, and when he says that it's sincere,
sarcastic, is what it is. Like, it's in like, okay, am I lying when I say something like, I would, hey, me, partaking in illegal drug taking, like me, huh? Never, no chance, never do it. Yeah, I'm lying, but I'm like, really?
Apology, and everyone should stop going after her. You agree that he's lying about that?
I mean, I think it's all for LOLs. Like, I don't think it's that serious. I think like
he's not
I feel
being
like
serious when he.
I feel like his fans
just getting out debated though. Shit.
Know that he can be very, very petty, and he can hold a grudge, and so it's all kind of just for spectacle, right?
Okay. Well, I don't know that that's the case because he's also.
Does Soy Pill have a fucking Pickle Rick? Is that what that is? Dude, Pickle Rick was not funny. I'm sorry. Pickle Rick was not a good episode. People are kidding themselves. They just repeated that it was a bad joke, and they were like, okay, but if we just keep repeating it, people will like it, right? Because it'll stick in their heads because people are fickle. Fickle Rick. It wasn't funny. Sorry. It was no Battle of the Bastards, okay? It was not a good episode. Yeah. Am I wrong? It was no Battle of the Bastards. That's a good episode, okay? Pickle Rick ain't nothing.
Feeling to her issues. So, for example, he and Hila were saying, it's just such an unfortunate situation that she's in, that like it's so crazy and sad that she's having to go through this, and Hassan won't even help her out. So I look at their demeanor. It seemed like they were trying to pass off that they actually cared.
Battle of the Bastards was nonsensical. Oh wow, what, the fantasy series is nonsensical? Really? Wow, entertainment is nonsense. Really? That's crazy. I've kind of come full circle in a few takes, okay? First of all, Battle of the Bastards is an amazing episode, okay? It's so good. I love it when he sends that letter, when Jon Snow's like, I'm gonna outsmart him, I'm gonna make him angry. And then fucking Ramsay's like sending him that letter, hey, I have your boy, come and see. I got your little brother, come and see. He's blonde, come and see. He's gonna run away, I'm gonna shoot him, come and see. And then Jon's like, fuck you know. And then he goes and fucking runs towards the army, fucks the entire strategy, and then Ramsay's all composed, like, yeah, knock, loose, because that's what they do in real life with the archers. For some reason, the archers have to time their firing and not just fire at will as fast as possible to fuck the entire, like, I don't know why you would waste several good shots when Jon Snow just Leroy's, and then, oh god, and then when he's like, there's a bunch of bodies going around and you feel like you're in the battle and you get trampled, and it's like, whoo, and then they're all fucking encircled, and then they come forward like, whoo. Man, so good. Sheer raw entertainment. Pickle Rick, now.
About and related to her financial situation in that case, and it seems like you're not going to say that he lied.
Otherwise, they'll dodge them. You need a volley. Literally, if you have fucking 2,000 people firing arrows, you fucking mincing retard. Like, if you have 2,000 people firing arrows, you're not going to be in a situation where they just come one at a time. If people are firing at will, you're going to have a constant wave of arrows, regardless of how synchronized you are. Jesus.
You do maintain that it wasn't sincere, and I'm telling you, he says it's sincere. So that seems to be a lie. Is there a reason that you're like shying away from the word lie?
To me, I don't care. Like, if you want to say it's insincere or a lie, I really don't know. You'd have to ask him. Maybe they found their way to have some sympathy for her. I'm not sure. You'd have to talk to them.
Don't even get me started on The Long Night. So good. You know, when you get like some of the saddest songs in the world are in major keys, and it's like, what's it doing to me? Why does it make me feel happy, but also like I want to cry? Wow, what the fuck? Why is this like a sadgasm? Why? Like, why is The Long Night one episode? So smart. Contrast.
I haven't asked them directly about how they felt about it. My whole thing was that I feel like that community in particular got so incredibly toxic with Ethan and his family, and it escalated and it graduated into new, like, very, very serious territory once the CPS stuff started happening, or once that did happen, and then like all of their
I like the tactic of sending thousands of horsemen into the pitch darkness, fully expecting them to die with no backup. Fuck yes. Genius.
Collective communities decided to dogpile after.
Why did they do that? These guys who come across the sea, these great warriors, just attack them head on. It's so anime. It's so anime when the fucking ruffian, the young swashbuckling youth who can't keep it in his pants, I'm gonna attack him head on, and then you're like, oh no, this guy's actually really powerful.
Fact. That to me was such a significant escalation that I saw his actions with respect to the litigation to be, commensurate with that. Like, I feel like that was his way of striking back. But yeah.
Do you have any reason to believe that these people were involved in that? In any of the stuff that
Wait, what was this?
once the CPS stuff started happening, or once that did happen, and then like all of their collective communities decided to dogpile after the fact, that to me was such a significant escalation that I saw his actions with respect to the litigation to be, commensurate with that. Like, I feel like that was his way of striking back. But yeah.
Do you have any
that's a really weak argument. Like, do we know, did Casey Tron do the
reason to believe that these people were involved
collective
in that?
punishment? That's
any
what
of the
that
stuff
is.
that you're talking about. That, for example, let's take Casey Tron, for example. That Casey Tron was responsible for what you're talking about?
No, I didn't say that she's responsible for the CPS call, but they all dogpiled on after the fact. They were all cracking jokes about it. And you would agree, right, that it's a pretty significant thing when the government shows up at your door and potentially forces you to prove.
I agree, it's significant.
Yeah, so I think like what he did was a response to that, and I think that I'm glad that they settled. I was somewhat sympathetic to her, but I'm glad that she doesn't have to have her wages garnished for the rest of her life.
So in summary, you don't care if Ethan Klein is lying about any of this? You don't care if he's lying about whether he believes the apology from Casey Tron, whether he believes it's sincere, whether he's actually motivated to protect the React community. You think that that's nitpicking, that you don't actually care about the motivations for why people sue?
I care, but I care to the point that I care about like allies committing a few war crimes at Normandy. Like, dude, you don't understand what the fucking enemy is like. You don't understand. They are immune to conventional weapons, okay? These guys get away with fucking anything. These guys lie all the fucking time, and they back each other up. They never hold each other accountable. They're a united front in fucking war crimes. Sorry.
Well, I mean, it just seems like you were making a bigger deal of the motivation than the reason for the lawsuit to begin with.
Do you care about the motivations why people sue? Do you care if he's lying about stuff? I'm just going to repeat the question, Hutch, if you don't answer it.
Not particularly, no. Because again, I think this is all kind of like.
So, for example, so suppose that you reacted in full, and you just kind of did like a chill little react stream to Tim Pool and my conversation, and then Tim Pool copyright sues you and says something like, "Well, I heard Hutch say some shit about the Russia stuff, and I didn't agree with him. I don't like him, and so I'm suing him to protect the React community and to do a bunch of obvious lies." Would you care about that, other than the fact that you're being sued? I think that would be wrong to do.
I'm not sure. Would you care? Like, in what respect? I don't understand the question.
In the respect of, don't you think it would be wrong to lie in that context for Tim Pool in this hypothetical to claim that it's a broader purpose and claim that he's just trying to protect content in the community, but in reality, it's just to fuck with you because you said something that you didn't like?
I do think it's a little bit of both, because he was sort of sounding the alarm about this when he was going at it with XQC. Like, he's been going at, like, he's had a thing for sort of like malicious React content for a really long time. So he's kind of consistent in that regard. But the fact that these particular creators had dogpiled onto him and his wife after CPS was called and they were cracking jokes about it, making light of it, it's like both things are relevant to me in the analysis.
So Hutch, I'm not asking you about what's going on. You understood that I was asking you a hypothetical there, right?
Yeah.
I didn't ask you about like what actually is motivated. I gave you a hypothetical.
In this hypothetical, am I saying?
I love these libs, man. You can't get away with it. If you're asking a question, you got to answer it. People will notice. Uh-oh.
If it's the case that it's the rationale is completely abjectly like not at issue, do you think that would be wrong to pretend that that's the motivation? I gave you a hypothetical, not what actually occurred.
To me, I don't really care, because in this hypothetical, would I be saying, "Hey guys, watch this Tim Pool thing so we can deprive him of a view"? Like, would I have given him ammunition to sue me for ostensibly some other purposes as well?
Have or not is this reminds me a little bit of the Jordan Peterson thing. But I did have breakfast. We're trying to get to what we care about, right?
Yeah.
So the reason why I'm isolating this and giving you.
I don't understand what Pisco wants from this. Pisco he's correct in pointing out that when Ethan said that this was to protect copyright or to set a precedent that it has to be malicious intent, otherwise, like, that doesn't really make any sense to me, because obviously you don't need any malicious intent to sue people. It makes sense in a moral way, like as a moral argument, it's okay to say that, like, yeah, I think in this social circle, it's probably okay to have a standard that if someone is maliciously talking about stealing content or from depriving you of views, like intentionally, then you should probably have less sympathy for them when they do it. especially with Casey Tron, because she literally is a market replacement fucking machine. She's like a serial market replacement machine. The thing that's bugging me about it though is like you can hold Ethan to those standards and you can correct him on it, but at the end of the day, when you look at the side that he's like up against, like that group, like the Casey Tron, Denims, all that, it's like it's like you're I don't know, it's just it's like you're watching two groups fighting, okay? You're watching two countries fighting, and one side is just firing chemical weapons non-fucking stop all over the shop, and then the other side gets a little bit fucking pissy and drops like a tactical nuke on like one part of their installation, and you're like, and then the only thing you're talking about is like the fucking tactical nuke that's being used. Yeah, that's kind of the issue. I think the behavior of the other side is like kind of the fact that they just like there's nothing that holds them to account. Like it doesn't matter how wrong they can be, it doesn't matter how like immoral their actions can be or how much you can call it out. Like it doesn't affect them in the slightest. Like they're completely immune to all this shit. So at the end of the day, people are going to use something, and I guess Ethan used a fucking copyright lawsuit.
Example with Tim Pool is because it's your claim that you don't give a shit about the motivations, the rationales. And so I'm trying to isolate that factor to show actually, maybe if this was against you or a person that you didn't quite like suing, maybe actually you would care about the motivation and whether they're misrepresenting it. But I would never, it feels like you're fighting the hypothetical.
But I would never do something as stupid as tell my audience, hey guys, watch me watch it so we can deprive Tim Pool of a view. That's just idiotic. Like they made themselves so vulnerable by doing
whether you would or not. It's a hypothetical. Why are you fighting?
You could just as easily get swept up by this sort of lawsuit by a creator if they really wanted to, Loner. Yeah, I know. Like the difference is though, is I don't use chemical weapons. Like I don't resort to fucking lying about people or even like even the fact, like, in terms of what harassment ever comes from my audience towards other people. My audience are a bunch of fucking knitted scars. Like, there's literally nothing. The worst thing that anyone can do to me is prove me wrong about something, and then my audience will feel fucking embarrassed and be on my ass for it as well. So yeah, obviously, I'm going to feel like there's a more of an injustice if someone comes after me. If I'm like, say, if I'm reacting to Tim Pool and shitting on him, yeah, you could probably copyright me for that, even if I don't say it's market replacement, even if I react meaningfully, even if I pause every 2 seconds. That can happen easily, right? I can do that. And I would feel quite pissy about him suing me. And I think it's a bit different to it coming to fucking like someone like Casey Tron. And you know it's different as well, you fucking lying retard. Like, you know it's different. You're just like trying to hold me to the exact same fucking standard as people who are like, you're just doing the thing again, where it's like you have to hold me to the same standard as people who break every single fucking like social norm when it comes to engaging in this space. So no, I don't take it that seriously. Sorry. Yeah, I'd feel upset if fucking Tim Pool sued me and I'd be in big trouble and all that. But it's like, at the end of the day, like, we all know when we react to things that we are liable to get attacked for that. We know that like what we're doing can result in someone coming to sue you. I just don't, tread in a way that's really giving people much of a reason to do it. And that's just the social understanding that we have.
Yeah, Hutch, even though, again, I super don't care, I would say just, yeah, like, regardless of whether or not you would, what is your motivation here and the motivation of Ethan? I think it matters a little. Like, what would you do in this situation?
If I was dumb enough to say, hey guys, watch me watch Tim Pool, like, I don't know. I feel like yeah, it's difficult for me to.
So no bad tactics, only bad targets. You are a fucking idiot. Like, you are so fucking stupid. No bad tactics, only bad targets. It's kind of like, it's like, the problem with no bad tactics and only bad targets. Fuck me, man. Hang on. The problem with no bad tactics, only bad targets is when one group unilaterally starts breaking or starts committing every social faux pas that they can to deal with their like opponents, and then with no fucking prompting, right? No bad tactics, only bad targets is when someone might come to someone like me and think, well, Lornabox, he doesn't really do personal attacks. He doesn't really do lying. He doesn't do any like defamation or underhanded tactics against people, but we're just going to use it against him because of his ideology. He's like he's a valid target, any means necessary, whatever the fuck. But if I start responding to someone with underhanded tactics or things that like for example, redistricting, right? If Gavin Newsom unilaterally did redistricting when the Republicans were playing fair and not going against the Constitution and not reinterpreting every single law against every precedent in American history to get their way, then everyone would say, what are you doing? That's no bad tactics, only bad targets. What the fuck? Why are you doing this? You literally made it an independent body for redistricting, and now you're taking it back into the partisan sphere unilaterally. But obviously, if he's doing it in response to Republicans doing it, that's different. Whereas you would go to Gavin Newsom, like, you understand this is the person you are, right? You would go to Gavin Newsom and say, so no bad tactics, only bad targets. Why don't you rise above it, man? Like, yeah, you just want people to get fucking raped. I don't know. You're just, fuck me.
In the hypothetical, because I wouldn't do something that fucking dumb.
Okay, then let's, if it's so difficult to get hypothetical, let me change one last thing, and I know we have a time limit here.
Yeah.
Suppose that it were the case that Ethan said, I'm suing these people because fuck them, because I want them to financially suffer, and I want to ruin them financially. And that was the motivation. Would you give a fuck?
I mean, it's not something that I would do personally.
Well, no, okay, but would you think it's a good or a
I'm not
bad
asking whether you would personally do it. I'm asking whether you think it's good or bad.
I don't know how to apply labels to these kinds of things.
What? Wait, okay. Now I kind of
know how to judge something.
A very easy, like, moral question, Hutch. Do you think it's okay to sue people because you want to financially ruin them?
Well, I don't know. It really depends on the circumstances, right? Like, what did that person do to me?
Is there a Ethan Klein sniper like pointing at your forehead right now?
Whoa!
I'll say it. Yes, it depends. I think in this situation, I don't know enough about what happened to Ethan, but like, I don't think it's inherent.
This is no war. Stop comparing this to a fucking war. Well, the point of them not being the same is the point of a comparison. It's an analogy. Like, use your what?
Wrong to sue someone to try to financially ruin them.
All right, can we pause for a second? Is it not possible that Ethan was motivated by two things? That he has been consistently pushing against what he would call like malicious React content, where you basically just do no effort, don't do any kind of reaction, and basically just steal content. That he could be motivated by both that and personal grievance.
Why does your audience hate Pisco so much? Probably because a lot of them are fucking Ethan fans. Like, yeah, because they're fucking sidescuck dipshits as well. We try to keep them in line every now and then, but you shouldn't hate Pisco. What the fuck?
You ask, is it possible?
Yeah.
And I understand an is it possible question. I mean, is it logically possible?
Well,
by which I mean, does it entail a contradiction?
Does it look plausible to you that it could be both?
No, it does not look plausible to me. It does not look plausible to me at all.
And time. That's the drama slop segment of Lib and Learn.
I'm gonna
IRI.
I'm gonna refresh if I can fix this one.
Oh, okay, cool. But,
no, I'm gonna refresh my things to rejoin. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Based on that 10-minute conversation, RI, who won the Ethan Klein drama slop debate?
Not enough time passed for a winner to be declared, in my opinion. I have no idea I don't know the merits of either side. I have no idea.
Okay. Well,
all I know is Casey Tron was horrifically embarrassed. Doesn't matter if she believed what she read or not. The fact that she had to read it was just tragic to watch. It was pretty sad. I don't know if anything was accomplished by that, but I mean, you can't fuck with these big boys who have money. Like, this is kind of like America in a nutshell. If you got money, you can bring almost anyone to their knees, man.
Yeah, there's that excellent John Oliver segment on slap suits where it's like they're just using it to silence people. It's because I can afford litigation and lawyers, I'm going to make your life a living hell, regardless of whether or not I'm justified in doing so. And I think that's potentially a bad thing. We should do something about it. I have no idea what the Ethan Klein circumstances are. Honestly,
yeah, but
don't care.
But these Casey Tron and them needed to be smarter about how they went after him, and they failed miserably, so they can't really cry foul.
The thing is, people can give me that, like, if you want to make the argument for Denims or even Frogan, like, you could probably, I could probably quite easily convince of that, even for Denims' case, like, especially. I don't think I ever thought Denims was like one who deserved like getting sued in the same way. You realize that Casey Tron is above and beyond when it comes to React stuff, right? Like, morally. There's no one who is fucking moral frogging about the Casey Tron who sincerely believes, even when I was fucking playing Warcraft and just fucking having videos on in the background and not pausing that often, even that was like way above and beyond anything Casey Tron was doing. She fucking just leaves videos on and leaves a fucking loop of herself in the corner when she's not even there. Dude, what are you talking about? Then Ethan should sue XQC. Welcome to civil law, idiot. Civil law is you sue who you want to sue. You sue who you want to. Ethan is not the American law, is not the American legal system. If you think that everyone should get sued or no one gets sued, then make it a criminal thing. Campaign to make copyright a criminal case rather than civil. Civil lawsuits are always going to be based on whether or not someone wants to sue someone. You understand that, right?
Yeah, I mean, like Hutch said, they literally said, "I'm going to do the illegal thing," like on a live stream. So it's like, all right, like it's
that's not even the worst thing for me. Like the worst thing for me, it was the dog pile. Like I don't know, Guy, if you're aware that CPS got called on Ethan's like kids and like the government showed up to his home and like I'm not accusing. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, like you can't control everybody in your audience doing crazy shit, right?
No, I'm not. To be clear, I'm not
encouraged by the creators.
It's just more evidence that his motivation is spite than you're admitting it. You're so fucking clever. You're so clever. I don't know what, like, did you just have fucking goo in your ears for the last 8 billion times where I said that Ethan was doing this to Casey Tron and those people specifically because of the harassment, because of those communities? Yeah, of course he is. That's how tell me, how are civil suits how do they not imply some degree of spite? How? You have to make the choice to sue someone. You can have 10 people fuck you in a way that is civilly liable or whatever, and it's your choice which ones you sue. Obviously, say if one of them is nicer to you or is like maybe going to have more resources and you don't want to go for them, or they just haven't given you much of a reason to be upset with them, of course you're going to sue the other ones who are just being flagrant. It's obviously, it's a human choice. That's why we have civil law.
To be clear, I'm not accusing those creators of like orchestrating that. I do think that Denims was like wildly irresponsible. There's one.
Hello, Spider.
Yo, you know what? Stop slandering with the. I don't do the whole. Yo, Lord Bucks. I don't do that shit. You do that shit, motherfucker. But anyway, so like, what's your thoughts on like Pisco like doing the whole like moral grandstanding on this shit?
I think it's a bit weird to think like the problem is that Ethan said two things basically. As far as he said one thing, and what the other thing's obvious. He said that he didn't want to go for people who didn't express a malicious intent because to him, which is an arbitrary standard, it's not the legal standard, but his personal standard for choosing to take the civil suit forward was because they stated a malicious intent. And I think that is okay to do. Like it's as far as you want to set like some kind of social standard or a social precedent in the streamer space, that makes sense. I think it's probably okay to do that. Like it's not going to be the legal. It's not going to be the legal precedent, but for socially, like I think it's fair. But obviously, when he's saying that it's going to protect other streamers from Disney or whoever else who come in with copyright suits, because it sets a precedent of malice having to be the intent, what makes you liable, that's not true. That's not going to change the law. Like, regardless of whether Ethan tries to set a precedent of malice or not, it's not going to change the fact that if you have something registered and you copyright it, then it's protected by copyright in terms of liability, like strict liability. As in, if you do it, it doesn't matter what your intent is. So he's wrong when he's saying that, but it could still be true that that's his own personal, like, or a social standard that he wants to set. So it's just, I don't know why you would get so hung. And also the second argument to say that these are mutually exclusive, that you're going after malicious intent, but it's also because you don't like these people. Why can't it be both? Why can't it be that you don't like these people, you want to sue them, but you also don't want to do it in a way that basically sets a social precedent that everyone could just sue anyone?
Yeah, I mean, there's been like DMCA YouTube shit like for like a while, so I don't know why like people are like asking mad about this, with the situation. Kind of weird.
Mm.
Do you think do you think it's possible for like Ethan Klein to go after like Hassan probably or what?
Probably not, because again, that would be, he probably could legally, but morally, that would obviously undermine his standard because Hassan didn't express a malicious intent. And Hassan was actually asked to watch the video and he reacted for like 9 hours. So that would be a big overstep if he did it with Hassan, regardless of how much Hassan can defend himself legally. Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know. I feel like I feel like Pisco, he's kind of goofy, okay? I'll go fuck, okay? I feel like Ethan Klein should went harder, okay? Fucking made Casey Trump poor, okay? He should have went harder on a motherfucker, okay? I don't know why Pisco is doing the whole fucking moral grandstanding of like, oh, it's not moral. Oh, he's doing it not morally. Those shit, Sherlock. Come on. It's like cringe. Like, stop. It's just weird cringe. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Got a real little bro.
Okay. Well, take care.
All right, I don't got anything to add, so I'm gonna put stuff up. So.
Particular stream where she was sort of like implying that it was justified and this sort of thing, but like the massive dog pile that space, like all the creators in the Hassan orbit did with Ethan and Hila was like one of the most disgusting things that I've seen in all my years on the internet.
I think Denims has turned out to be a real dumb fuck with some of the things she said. She was praising Osama bin Laden's manifesto on her stream, and then hearing that she's praising CPS getting called on somebody is ridiculous. So she just sounds like a real dumb fuck.
All right, you heard it here, folks. We are pro Denims is dumb on Live and Learn.
Let's go.
Happy we got to
well, it just shows you that not the smartest people don't always rise to the top. In fact, some of the most mentally unwell people tend to become the biggest streamers out there. You kind of have to be a bit mentally unwell to become a giant streamer.
I was going to say, while we're stirring the pot, I always wonder who's watching Azamon Gold. Why is he so big? So
It's probably just a lot of young guys, I would assume. I would assume his target demo is like 25 and under.
Yeah. I was going to wait for Pisco to get back because I wanted to talk about, politics, but do you guys want to start with Jasmine Crockett?
Yeah.
Hell no. I want to do connections. Get me out of here. I want to keep my streak. Ew, thanks for the 9.99. I am a knitted scarf. How lovely. True. Sigurd Carlson, thanks for 4.99. Battle of the Blackwater is better than Battle of the Bastards. That is a low entertainment take, actually. I disagree. Also, thanks for the 9.99. And Henrik Vibey, thanks for the tier 1 sub. Play Dynamic Social Democracy and Alternate History. That sounds so niche. Wow. All right. 2 more for the goal, guys. 2 more. Let's go. I think our streak is at like 15 now. Let's see. Okay. Oh, add to your 15-day streak. Come on. Come on. Dorothy Gale. Leprechaun. Count. Feeble. Clownfish. Honeybee. Zebra. Consider. Unicorn. Forehead. Toucan. Pride. Tiger. Factor. Include. Well. You can count, consider, factor, and include. The rest of them look impossible. Okay, stripes, honeybee, zebra. I don't know what else. Is this clownfish? Tiger, stripes. Okay, okay. Now. Forehead, toucan. 5, 1. Homonyms or homophones for numbers. Yeah! Fuck it is! Easy. Streak continues. Associated with rainbows. Okay. No heckin' problem. You see why? The fucking snarking dipshits in chat. I'm just more intelligent than you, okay? I have a higher IQ, bigger cock. More people's mums in my bedroom. I'm fucking stupid. More eyes. Shut up. Is this a connection speedrun record? Maybe. Yo. Jesus. More experienced, or are we avoiding age now? What the fuck? Wait, what does that mean? You're over 30. Oh, like more wisdom because I'm because I'm 40. Yeah, nice. True. Okay. Debate content's doing well. Algorithm likes the debate content. You guys like the debate content. Okay. I'll tell you what. I want to have some me time today. Yesterday was quite intense. That stream, that debate was quite long. Okay. Just needing to take a minute. I need to watch American Tail. Go watch the debate, though. Watch that. Get the fuck out of here. That's a wrap. You want to do more debates, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'll do more. I'm going to try to look up for, but not the fucking, the Israel-Palestine stuff is just, it's so done. I need to get that. I feel like at least Chris knew like some things about the conflict. So that's like, at least he knew things. Like, that's good. That's a much more refreshing fucking debate than a lot of the other ones. Obviously, I think there's a lack of, I don't know, critical thinking or like ideological orthodoxy, but you know, it's the best. I think that's the best we're going to get. That's the best debate we're going to get on it. We need to move on. We need to do other things. More migrants, more boats, more fucking Trump. We need to do econ. Maybe China. Fuck knows. I don't know. Big plans. I'm going to finish my China book. That's what we're going to do. Yeah. All right. I'm going to finish my China book and then we're going to do econ and it's going to be so banging. All right. Those are my 2 plans going forward. More streamer rewards. True. All right. Love you guys. Bye.